before we talk about some of the trade stuff? This is not a move. The question the Royals were asking themselves was, is he a better utility player or better at getting on base than John Rave or than Tyler Tolbert or some of the bottom of the roster guys who can't play outfield like Cam Devaney? It's fine. Did it change their win total for the rest of the year? It did not. For the positive or the negative. Did they let go of future superstar Cam Devaney? I don't believe so. This feels like a move, I don't know, a clubhouse move, maybe more than anything else. They like him.
No,
By
that's
all
great.
accounts, they like Adam Frasier.
That's great. And he's
nice guy.
Is he having a better season than last year in Kansas City? Yes, if you're asking that.
But he has the fifth best on-base percentage on the team now.
Have sources told you, are they Yuli Gurriel, Tommy Pham, Robbie Grossman, are they on the way back as well, or are we sure? Or this is the only one?
There was a part of me, man, when you started saying those names out in the bullpen, like Tommy Pham, it was a reminder that this is the second straight year that the desperation for offense has been so bad that at chunks of times last year, they were playing Gurriel, Robbie Grossman, Adam Frasier, and I'm like, oh, man. So when I thought this offense was better last year, and it definitely was, it was all because they were just hitting with runners in scoring position from their big three, right? It had nothing to do with numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup. I will say Adam Frasier is a more professional hitter than the guys they have, who they've given some time to this year due to injury. Also, this probably tells us something about Michael Massey's injury setback.
Well, he's got
and how much time he's continued to miss.
Hairline fracture in the wrist or whatever. That's what he's dealing with.
Royals saw, the text line said, 816. Royals saw zero upside in 28-year-old Cam Devaney, correct? And they went with a veteran guy who's a good clubhouse fit, and Adam Frasier. I don't panic over this move. If you're like on the ledge over this one, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, I'm texting with someone that you and I both know.
They're freaking out about it. Adam Frasier for Cam Devaney.
I think it's. I'm like, what? It's a nothing burger.
This
like
is AJ Jenkins for Jonathan Baldwin. We don't have to lose our minds. This is nothing.
The person that knows that I will bring up the text on air, so they're fine. I won't mention their name, and they know we go back and forth a lot and have a good time talking
baseball,
and everything. But this is an actual text I got. Cam Devaney could be Mike Aviles. I'm like, I just had to start laughing in the text thread. Come on, man. Come on. Relax.
Okay, admittedly, and I'll say, look, if he's Mike Aviles, then they made a mistake. I'm happy to admit that. If he turns into Mike Aviles, they've whiffed on this one. And Mike Aviles got up pretty late in his career and was a utility infielder similar to that of Cam Devaney. He's in third and second base and the other positions to go with it. Mike Aviles came up at age 27.
I'm not losing sleep over a Cam Devaney Adam Frasier trade. Honestly, just doesn't really matter much.
I also and this could be the difference between this person and me, which is I'm not going to pretend for even a half a second I have been grinding Cam Devaney AAA tape. I haven't.
Right.
Turns out I have maybe seen him take 4 at-bats.
You're not going back and watching Omaha Storm Chasers highlights?
I have not. So I have not seen. I do not know Cam Devaney's skill set other than he's having a nice year in AAA. He got called up. Obviously, he didn't get to the bigs. That's the end.
I truly
So if he turns into Mike Aviles, I will admit.
I know I'm supposed to have some massive sports radio take about every trade a team makes that we cover.
This means the Royals are out of it.
It's nothing. It's a nothing burger trade. I mean, it doesn't do much. And if anything, they get a veteran bat that can play more positions than what they had. So great, but that's it. I mean, it's fine. Whatever.
We'll say Cam Devaney's got pop. That's about. That's about all I know about him. But they also, I don't know.
Suddenly, text is acting like Cam Devaney's a top 10 prospect in baseball. Now, how could they? I mean, come on, let's relax. Anyway.
Someone says it'll be time to panic when we actually call up Dallas Keuchel or Rich Hill.
Dick Mountain, rookie two.
But he might actually
be filming it very, very soon.
We can talk more about what would have to happen.
Let's talk about last night.
Let's move to the All-Star game for a minute.
I loved it. I enjoyed it, man. I actually thought Major League Baseball did a hell of a job with it. Mic'd up throughout. I know sometimes we say the mic'd up interviews can be annoying. Clayton Kershaw knew the assignment, understood the assignment. I thought he was terrific, joking with John Schmaltz about basically, hey, you're asking me to throw a pitch that I don't even have. They were laughing about it. That was a cool moment as well. Obviously, you had every single Royals representative found a way to get in the game. It went better for Carlos and Michael and Bobby than it did for Chris Bubich, obviously, but they all got in the game. They all had their moment. And I thought the Hank Aaron tribute that they did was really, really cool. And how you see that in basketball games, right? Where I don't know what they call that, floor mapping or screen mapping. I don't know what it's called. There's a technical term for that, but it was very, very cool that they did there. And I love the fact that we finally got ourselves a swing off. We got ourselves a swing off to decide the All-Star game. It's an exhibition game, and we had drama at the end. Otherwise, would you have cared? Like, would you have cared if that would have got another inning or two in extras? Would you have kept watching?
Honestly, and it gone to extras, I would have turned it off.
That's what I'm saying. Swing off, you're watching.
Yeah, I very specifically
awesome.
Tuned into the swing off as a result of that. It's the obvious format. It's an exhibition game. It should be fun. Swing offs are fun. Kyle Schwarber put on a show. AL looked like they had the early advantage, and then Schwarber went for 3 for 3 in his swings, and the AL couldn't come up with a hit there in those last 5 outs or swings to make it worth it. But yes, that's obviously almost to the point that I wish I had it in the regular season. It's so much fun. I borderline wish I had it for a regular season
Now,
game.
I know the diehards will say,
I'm not a baseball purist, although you think I would because, like, I'm a lifetime baseball fan. I think sports can be fun.
Yeah, I don't need it in the regular season. I understand why we don't have it there, but they should have done this in the All-Star game a long, long time ago. The swing-off was great. I thought the ABS stuff proved to people that were worried about it why it works, how quick it is.
It's so great.
That was awesome. I thought it was a terrific. If you're Rob Manfred of Major League Baseball,
good weekend,
incredible
good
night.
Monday, Tuesday.
I understand there's a little bit of like controversy with the swing-off and how the players were chosen and which players were chosen. Everybody wanted to see Ohtani versus Judge. Yeah. A couple things with that, and I understand both sides of it. A couple things. One, we learned after the fact that it was predetermined before the game. We also know now that a good chunk, not everybody, but a good chunk of players that started the game left. All right? Just like in spring training that the starters don't stay the whole game. When they're done, they're done. Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani's of the world, those guys hopped on a flight and got the hell out of town.
I think that's ridiculous.
And wanted to do it. Now, exactly. You can say it's ridiculous, but that's why people were crushing Aaron Boone. There was one pick, obviously, that was a little odd from the Tampa Bay Rays at the end. And as a Royals fan, you're probably saying, hey, give me Bobby Wood Jr. And I totally understand that. Hey, for that reason, give me Michael Garcia and Bobby Wood Jr. I'd rather have it be all Royals. I mean, I understand if that's your take. You just wanted to see Bobby in the swing off, then I'm right there with you. In general, why wasn't it the Judge, Ohtani, Freddie Freeman show, et cetera? Well, a lot of those guys left, or they just Judge didn't want to do the Derby the night before. You think he was agreeing to stay around for a swing off? I don't think so. Pete Alonso was only there because he thought he was about to collect the MVP trophy until Kyle Schwarber stole it from him by having the 3 home runs in the swing off.
So, and he won it 3-2 in the final 5-person panel, which why not? He hit the 3 home runs and eventually into the game and helped them win. I know they leave spring training games early, and I don't care. And I know that those are exhibition games like it's the All-Star game. I think it's wild, and I did not realize that these guys go and start in the All-Star game and they kick around and then they just leave?
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
They just get on a flight and leave? What's the point of highlighting your future stars if by the 6th inning Shohei Ohtani's in his Uber to the airport? You can't even cut to him? Maybe I haven't been paying enough attention to the All-Star game part because I told you that one for me is a little less on the viewership
I think it's been happening
every
for
year.
Years.
But you got to stay. If you agree to be an All-Star, it's 2 hours.
No other All-Star game is like that, right? I don't. Nobody's leaving like the NBA All-Star game, obviously, or anything like that.
If they were, I didn't know it. If they were, I didn't realize that players just left. I understand you got to select them ahead of time. And Aaron Judge, I think, should still be allowed to say, hey, if it ends up in a tie, I don't want to end up in the Derby part of it.
They asked them before the reports are that they asked guys or selected guys before the game. Remember, this, but they map out how they plan on getting guys into the game. So when they whenever they asked the players to participate before the game, they knew, hey, this guy, we're going to pull him in the 2nd inning. The chances of him being available in the 10th, or I guess the swing off after the 9th, may be slim. 1, he might have already showered and changed into different clothes. 2, he might have already left town. There's a lot of factors in there why every player wasn't available. The only one I think you have a gripe with is the Rays player. You're like, what happened? My guess is I went back and looked to see who had how many at-bats. My guess is Aaron Boone also wanted that player to have the opportunity because he's one of 2 players on the AL side that only got 1 at bat. So my guess is that was his thought process. It's also an exhibition game, so I'm not going to let the fact that one player you didn't want being picked got picked ruin the idea that the swing-off wasn't great, that the All-Star game wasn't great last night. I thought it was a huge win for Major League Baseball, and I think you do too.
Oh, I do. The swing-off works. All that stuff is fun. I think the player should stay. It seems like a very small concession to say, hey, you got to stay for 90 more minutes.
Isn't it kind of...
It's not that big a deal. It's 90 minutes. They can still fly private back home or where the hell they want to go to get their 2 days off today and tomorrow.
I don't know if disrespectful is the right word, but it feels like you're just there to do your business and then I'm getting the hell out of here and I don't care what else happens in the game. I feel like there's some slight disrespect, I think, to the game, to your peers in a way by saying, look, I got my 1 at bat at 2 at bats. I threw an inning. I'm out of here.
I guess the question would be, would you rather, if you told me that like they had to stay for the game, would you rather Aaron Judge and stuff just drop out of the All-Star game? I guess that's for those that are saying that like they should have stayed. And look, if I were those players, I would have stayed. But also, it's not Aaron Judge's first rodeo. He's been to a couple of these. So if you are looking at star players, a lot of them drop out anyway for a variety of reasons. If all of a sudden you're told that, hey, you have to stay, and for some players, they know they don't want to do that. They want to enjoy a couple days with their family instead, not at the All-Star game. Then you're going to have more star players that say, screw this, I'm out. I'm saying that's the danger of what you guys are suggesting.
I know you're not alone. 100%. I don't think it's going to be every player who says you got to stay 2 extra hours is ditching. I do respect the fact that baseball's an incredibly long season. You get very few nights, very few time, very few free moments in the course of an entire season to actually get to spend time with your family, get to take a mini vacation. I don't care. Just pet your dog at your house, on your couch, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what it is. I understand how finite it is. It's a couple of hours. Like, I mean, it's the difference between leaving in the 4th or 5th and leaving a few hours later in the 9th. They'll get you a flight. They'll get you out there. You'll still have all day today, all day tomorrow. Like it doesn't feel like a huge concession to stay, but the truth is, I don't know, because it's the first time we've gotten a swing off, I don't know if it dramatically changes the people who stick around to hit. Like, Judge might still be like, I'm not going to do the swing off part of it.
Also,
Thanks.
probably, let's be real,
okay.
If we're being honest, too, whether it's the manager, whether it's the players, most of them probably thought there was no chance it was going to a swing off anyway. We've never had one before.
Oh, when you ask the players, you're like,
sure, fine, I'll do it, or whatever.
Alonso was probably like, if we go to extras, okay.
I was texting with some friends last night, and some people, they were upset with the Aaron Boone's decision. I'm like, and they had money on the AL. I go, how many of you even knew there was a chance?
That's why they cared. I'm like,
and that's what that was
Aaron Boone's decision making in an
All-Star
All-Star game.
money had been great.
And
I can't be bothered to care about that.
That was the tweet that I sent out last night. I was like, some of you that are upset are just mad because you lost your bet. And I know for a fact some of you didn't even know a swing off was a possibility. Well, if you're betting on something you don't know how the outcome's decided, that's on you, man. That's not on Aaron Boone picking a random dude from the Rays that only had like 10 home runs all year.
Look, I
keep forgetting his name. Was it Aranda or something?
Yeah, Aranda.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before with other stuff.
Exhibition baseball.
You and I have talked about like preseason football. You have to understand, and it's fine that you really like sports when you get in. You have to understand that it's sicko behavior when you're betting on exhibition games.
I agree.
I'm not saying you can't do it,
football,
but it's sicko behavior when you're like,
training.
I got Carson Steele's over in preseason game number 3. You do you. You feel good about it, but like in an exhibition game, you better accept some variance.
Well, look,
you better understand that Aranda might be coming in for the swing off.
Go bet on individual player. You want to bet for Bobby to have a hit in the All-Star game. I get that way more. Don't, betting on the actual team to win the All-Star game is wild. And then a lot of you probably didn't even know the swing. I mean, truly. I didn't even know. Like,
did you?
Remember from a year ago, I forgot that was a thing. A year ago, we talked about saying we wanted to see it, and then I didn't remember it until the 8th inning when people started to chatter about it.
I was like, oh yeah, swing off.
But as far as like, if you're betting on the game though, and then you're mad about how it was decided, that's on you. I mean, I don't care if you're betting on the Super Bowl. If you forgot that there's an overtime rule like Kyle Shanahan, that's on you, the bettor too.
Oh yeah, I mean that was always a risk, and you knew that. And now, in fairness, you didn't know who the swing-off guys were going to be, so you're like, AL side, you might have been like, well, we're going to get Judge. And
yeah, I loved it last night.
It was fun. It was a fun game. I'm
not going to let the fact that, Aaron Boone picked someone you didn't want for the swing-off make it seem like the whole night was bad. I feel like people act like it ruined the night. I'm like, it was a ton of fun. Maybe now going forward, people will take the swing-off more seriously, if that's your argument, that now going forward when a player gets asked to do it, maybe they'll stick around because they want to be part of it, and maybe now that people saw how cool it was, it'll happen. I don't know.
Plus, everybody but Chris Bubich had a nice showing of in the All-Star game for the Royals. Bobby had the RBI double. Michael was on base to score as a part of that. Estevez got through his inning, a little bit dicey, but struck out the side. Bubich was the only real downside. He gave up that 3-run blast, but
yeah,
I mean, overall, pretty good showing for the Royals in the All-Star game. Plus, they're in the photo at the end when like Joe Torre's making the pitching change and all that stuff. Like,
I just love they wear their actual jerseys now. Major League Baseball. Another shift they made that was smart to go back to that. It's cool seeing the guys wearing Royals uniforms or whoever your team you root for or whatever, versus the random AL NL unis that they wore for the Home Run Derby.
For those just tuning in, I do continue to see text and messages on the video chats that are like, they traded
we did
Adam Frasier.
We already talked about it, yeah.
We'll talk more about it at 10:30 as it relates to something else, but yes, the Royals have traded
it's a nothing burger. I'm surprised they traded for him again, but it's a nothing burger.
I think it's a vibes trade. I think it's like a...
he's Raul Ibanez.
That's what I think this is.
Is that what we're doing?
I think it's a vibes trade.
Raul Ibanez. Boom.
Vibes trade. This is we got our guy in the clubhouse trade. This is not about baseball.
Okay.
This is about vibes. That's what I believe is taking place.
I mean, yes. Okay. All right.
That's not the worst thing in the world. Let's talk about...
As I told you, I don't think you matter. It just doesn't do much either way. Being outraged either way is funny to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to come here and be like, best trade of the century. And I don't think you should claim this is the worst trade of the century either. We're only 6 days away from heading up to training camp. If you want to go look on our socials, you can see exactly which days we will be up there in St. Joe. Love for you guys to come by. We're usually same spot as we've been for years up there in St. Joe, which will happen in just 6 days from now. But as a result of that, article up at ESPN.com headed by Jeremy Fowler, in which he talks to people around the league. Once again, execs, coaches, scouts, and talks about the NFL quarterbacks. By now, you've seen that Patrick Mahomes remains number one on that list amongst quarterbacks, but that his lead has narrowed. And what I thought was interesting about this is exactly what they're saying about him. These are quotes from the article. Quote, I thought he had more command of time, score, and situation, better fundamentals within the pocket than ever. He's a one-man army, and no NFL coach wants to deal with him. And talking about a little bit of where he was, talking about it's not nearly, it wasn't his fault because essentially O-line in decline, wide receivers cleaned out, and Travis Kelce not nearly the same player. So there was some excuse making for that. But when you talk to other guys, they just think a couple think he took a step back. So when you look at Mahomes right now, his grip on everyone thinks he's the number one quarterback in the league versus number two.
Yeah, he needs to have a good year.
He's got to kind of put a stamp back on it
for the consensus to remain him. Well, I can't even say consensus anymore because we got people out here
claiming he's fourth,
which is the most absurd thing that I've seen. The top five. Read out the top five. Actually, when we did this last, I have the same top four from last week. The only difference is at 5, I had either Stafford or Dak, and they have who?
Okay, so number 1 is Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Number 2 is Josh Allen,
I had
which
that.
is I have Lamar Jackson too, but it's fine. Joe Burrow 3 and Lamar Jackson 4.
Yeah, I got no problem with the top 4.
Now Lamar is hurt because some idiot in this ranked him 6th.
Who?
There is no
that's insane.
universe.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think you can make an argument for Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson in any order at 2, 3, 4. I think
it wasn't Bill Polian, was it?
I think you can make it. No, it's anonymous. You can make
I
it
like Bill Polian, but yeah, that was some shade needed.
You can make it in any particular order you want. Number 5 is Jaden Daniels.
Oof.
Number 6, Matthew Stafford. 7, Herbert, which is higher than his accolades have done. Jared Goff finally getting the respect he probably deserves for winning in 2 different places at 8. Jalen Hurts still down there at 9, and then Baker Mayfield.
Hurts is too low.
Wow.
At 9?
Only 2 things I really take issue with. I think Jaden Daniels at 5 is too high after 1 year.
Agreed.
I also would say.
I'm trying to decide how I feel about Baker at 10. Is that crazy? Is it?
I also think
he's in that 10 to 12 range. I think we talked about that.
I also think Herbert, if you're gonna put him in the top 10, he's 10, not 6 or whatever you told me they have. 7.
Dak wasn't even in the top 10.
I don't think it's a terrible list. I would have had, you guys know I have Dak in my top 10. I do not have Justin Herbert in my top 10 anymore. Heading into last season, I had Justin Herbert in the top 10, but I can't have him there anymore.
He's top 10 because of talent alone and the numbers he puts up, but he's like 10, right? Accomplishments have to mean something. At this point, if you're still rating Justin Herbert ahead of Jalen Hurts, you are valuing only one thing, how pretty their spiral is, right? Jalen Hurts puts up numbers. They don't ask him to pass a lot, but when he passes, he's successful. running is a part of a skill set he is allowed to use at quarterback, and he is still a good passer and an accurate passer and those things to go with it. So I think if you're doing that, you're just saying, like, he's the tall white movie quarterback, and you're not actually factoring in the rest of these things, like success and accomplishments and some of the things they're actually doing on the field. He's better Trevor Lawrence because he actually accomplishes some things statistically. But he doesn't win. Herbert, we were talking about this maybe a couple days ago, just randomly, like as a group outside. The thing that gets me on Herbert is I feel like the best quarterbacks in the NFL should feel a little bit like killers. Like they should feel like they're out to get you, that they'll step over your dead body in their best moments. They should feel like they're ready to step over your cold body in order to win it. The top 4, no doubt I feel that way. Jaden Daniels definitely showed some of that last year. Matthew Stafford shows that in those big moments. Herbert?
No. No.
It doesn't feel like a killer, right?
I think you even comped him a little bit, Cody, while we were out there to Trevor Lawrence in a way in terms of just they're like the prototype guy that everybody would love to have, but there's something about them. You don't know what it is, but there's something about them that just they don't belong in that category of elite or even great. Look, would you consider Justin Herbert a great quarterback?
No.
Because I think elite is above the great, obviously. Elite is the 4 that we mentioned first. I would take Jaden Daniels over him right now.
If you're separating it between elite and great, I'd probably put him in the great category.
Still? Okay.
Yeah, would you put fringe?
Would you put Dak in there or Baker?
Baker's a tough one.
I know that's recency bias, more for Baker.
But like Baker's things might have just been circumstance. You know? Yeah. Like it might have just been circumstance.
I think you just, like, if you were to tier this thing out, there's the top 4 or 5 or so that are, guys that carry you to a title type of quarterbacks. And doesn't mean they've done it yet, right? But like we watch them and believe their play. Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, and I would even say Hurts at this point. You have to.
Yeah.
Although he's viewed a little differently because people will say with the roster around him and everything. But still, I think if we're being fair, you put Hurts there. Then there's like that tier of, hey, just franchise stabilizing quarterback. You're going to win a bunch of games, but he alone is not carrying you to a Super Bowl. And that's like the next tier. And that's where I put like the Jared Goffs, and that's where I would put Dak Prescott. That's where I would put Matthew Stafford.
CJ Stroud, maybe?
But not carrying you there. Stroud is just, it was so tough.
A little more unknown.
Because he can be that elite guy. Yeah. I mean, it looked like it.
He's probably in that category, and that's where I would probably put Jaden Daniels as well. Like a guy that, we're going to find out if Jaden Daniels wins the NFC East this year in a sophomore campaign, then the way we talk about him just continues to get elevated. Because we all know C.J. Stroud was in a lot of these top 6, 7 lists a year ago, and then he had a disappointing sophomore campaign, and now nobody thinks he's in the top 10 anymore. So will that happen with Jaden Daniels? That remains to be seen. But I actually don't have much of an issue. Like the top 4 is the same top 4 that I had. I just think Jaden Daniels is too high.
You can circulate that top 4 however. Obviously Mahomes wouldn't be 4, let's be honest. But, you can circulate the 2 through 4 in any way. Yep. Somebody from the 660 loves Tua. They said Tua is a top 10 quarterback right now.
Can't be. Just can't be.
You got to be available.
Got to be available first and foremost.
It's not that he's bad. It's just that he's not. When's the last time he played a full season? 3 years ago? Probably.
Joe Burrow gets hurt this year. He might be saying the same thing.
All right, relax.
What?
He played a full season last year.
Tua played 11 last year, played 17 the year before.
It was the 2 years before.
Tua's played a full season 1 time in his NFL career.
In fairness, Tua played a full season, 2 years ago.
In 5 years.
He's played 1, man. And it's obviously not Tua's fault either. Obviously he had the scary.
I don't know. For a while there was his fault, the way he was diving with his head first.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't
after coming back from the injuries that he had, he was still doing it. Yeah.
No, Tua's not elite. Tua's a 15 to 20 guy. He belongs in the category lumped in with the guys who you wouldn't hate if they were your starter, but you certainly don't want to get stuck with them long term.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk about the Royals. We can get back into the Adam Frasier trade if you guys want. Also, is there anything that could happen over these next 2 weeks that changes how you believe the Royals should approach the trade deadline? That's next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Jefferson's has a brand new happy hour designed to save you money. Enjoy half off appetizers and half off your bar tab. 7 days a week at Jefferson's Lenexa and Jefferson's North Kansas City. Yeah, you heard that right. Half off your bar tab during happy hour at both locations. And it gets even better. Mondays are all-day happy hour. Plus, they've got reverse happy hour every night. Whether you're catching the game or just kicking back with family and friends, Jefferson's in Lenexa and North Kansas City is the place to be. Proudly local and always delicious. Jefferson's. Wings, burgers, oysters. Why are you still paying interest? Reiselman Nissan just dropped 0% APR for 60 months on new Rogues, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Or stretch it, 1.9% for 72 months. Or 84 months at just 3.49%. Need torque? Grab a new Frontier and get up to $6,000 in total rebates. And if you're leasing, you pay no sales tax at Reiselman Nissan. 0. These are real deals, but they won't last. Tap over to ReiselmanNissan.com. Reiselman Nissan. Every customer, every time.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth.
Hi, I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Make history this summer by attending Kansas City Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri. There's still time to join me. For more details, go to stjomo.com. stjomo.com. In St. Joe, you'll discover 150 years of history, where the Pony Express began and Jesse James ended. Experience history, make history. Go to stjomo.com. Produced in cooperation with the Missouri Division of Tourism.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152. 800-707-6152.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
The best moments in life weren't meant to sit in a box, gathering dust in the attic, or stuck on outdated tapes. They're meant to be seen, heard, and shared again and again.
Oh, look how little you were.
That's why Legacy Box exists, to help you preserve and relive your family's history. Imagine being able to text a video of your grandparents to your kids, or share a childhood memory with your siblings in seconds.
Wow, I haven't seen this in years.
Legacy Box makes it that easy. Just fill your Legacy Box with all your analog media. Send it to our headquarters in Tennessee, where we digitize everything by hand. And in just a few weeks, we'll send back your originals, digitized, preserved, and stored in the cloud, so you can easily stream, download, and share your memories. Anytime, anywhere. Join the millions of families that have trusted Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value for 50% off. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
I got a text from our guy, Rob Collins, over at Fox 4. It's been a while since we've had on the show. He's obviously very busy. Summertime, he's doing a lot of charity events. He's doing a lot of golf charity events. And we were joking with him during the break, but he also said he's just trying to golf so he can beat you, Drew. He's just trying to get to your level.
Oh.
He's just trying to get to your level.
He's trying to get to that corn fairy level.
If you actually said that, you're way too kind.
Have you played with Rob?
I have not yet. The goal was to play at some point this summertime. There's still a little bit of time left before
Got a day game next week. Maybe Rob's free Wednesday, Thursday?
We'll have to figure it out. We'll have to get Rob in studio. I think we still owe Rob a golf outing, everybody as well.
Yeah.
So.
He talked about we can come meet him out there. That's what I'm saying. Maybe day game next week.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
If it's not supposed to be a gajillion degrees.
Well, it's going to be. It's July.
The high's only like 80 tomorrow or something.
That's
good.
good.
I think it's like 80
that's solid. Coming up in about 8 minutes or so, we'll get to some of the comments as SEC Media Day continues. Of course, Missouri down there. And you've got Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, who's always kind of feeling himself a little bit and knows that he's kind of the big man in charge, if you will, and the best spot of any of the commissioners. And he makes sure we all know that every single time he speaks. So we'll get to Greg Sankey's comments in a bit. But let's keep talking some Royals baseball. What people want to talk about. It's still this Adam Frasier trade. So let's do that for a second.
Okay.
Then we will
I can relate it to something else. So
then we will get to the next 2 weeks. Honestly, guys, so if you're just joining us for the first time today, the Royals have traded Cam Devaney, a prospect in their system, who just got called up recently, who I don't believe ever got a major league at-bat in his career yet. Still,
I don't think so.
To the Pirates for a familiar name, Adam Frasier, who obviously was not good last year, okay? He was hit 202 or something, and he's 33 years old, and they're bringing him back. And we've all made the same jokes, right, of, wow, I guess they're going to look at Tommy Pham and Yuli Gurriel as well. I overall, when I first saw it, I said, that's a little weird, but all right, nothing burger. Bring a veteran. He can play outfield as well, so fine, whatever. Maybe they think he's better guy to have in the lineup than a John Rave or something. That's what you and I were saying.
Yeah.
And I've been surprised the reaction. Some of you guys are acting. This is not me saying Adam Frasier is going to change things for this team. Of course not. Okay, I don't think it's anything, frankly.
They're getting ready to win 10 games in a row.
Yeah.
Laugh in all your faces is Adam Frasier.
On the flip side, we have to stop acting like Cam Devaney, with all due respect to him, is a 23-year-old top 100 prospect in baseball. He's 28, 29 years old. He's not even top 30 in the Royals system. I mean, let's come in the Royals. It's not like the Royals have a top 5 farm system in baseball where you can say, well, he's not top 30 because their system is just so good. No, they have a very average farm system. And he's not even a top 30 prospect. It's a nothing burger trade. We're hyping up Cam Devaney like he's this big-time prospect, and you're upset they gave up a 33-year-old veteran for him or something. That's crazy.
And I know you're going to say, well, he's had 18 home runs in AAA this year, 19 last year. So this looks to be a guy who's going to have a lot of success. He has been playing in AAA since 2022. He should be better than most AAA players. Gold, this is a very simple diagnosis on this. And I'm going to help the Royals fans who were freaking out about Adam Frasier coming here for Cam Devaney. If your concern is why bring back Adam Frasier? I can give you a couple of quick answers. One, he's a clubhouse guy, and teams do trade for clubhouse guys. Second, his on-base percentage is technically now 5th on the Royals. Not a compliment necessarily for Adam Frasier, but an indictment on the rest of the Royals' ability to get on base, yet still better than more than half of the starting lineup in getting on base. So there's the Frasier part. The Devaney part. First, the age. He's 28. Second, what I mentioned, he's been in AAA since he's been 25 years old. So all of those things should be factoring into the rest of this. What I continue to see is the Mike Avila's comp you made or other
Or
players.
not that I made. No.
That's somebody else
Not
made.
that I made. Definitely not my comp.
The multiple good 28-year-olds who did not get to the big leagues until they were much later in their career and turned on to have these fine careers. Just because you remember two of them doesn't mean it. If you added up every single player who waited at least until age 28 to make their major league debut across all 30 teams in the history of baseball, I would guess 1% turn out to be good players. 1.5, 2 if I'm feeling friendly. So like the odds that Cam Devaney has got some secret hidden potential they've just given up on, while not zero, is not high. So they traded for a guy that
we could all find outliers, but acting like Cam Devaney's the next Brent Rooker or Mike Avila's or Ryan O'Hearn or something is also looking at the 1% or less than 1% chance of that happening. Truly, like I legitimately am surprised that people even want to talk about it that much. Like to me, when the trade came across, like okay, whatever, move on. Move on with your day, kind of thing. The reason why we're talking about it more is because we keep getting text after text about it, and you guys have asked us while we started the show with it, and then 5 minutes after we were done talking about it, everybody's like, how come you're not talking about Adam Frasier? Because I don't think it's that big of a deal. We're talking about it more because it's kind of interesting, the reaction to it.
And we care that if it's something you want to talk about, we can certainly give it a shot and have a conversation this year. Look, the way I view is like that. And I have a hard time even inferring it's something major. Like taking it to the other side, Gold, this means they're buyers. They just bought a player, right?
No.
They're trying to get better. I'm telling you, I can't even take it that far. Because here's the truth. I think right now, like for the next 2 weeks, the Royals have before the trade deadline. 2 weeks from today, I think, before the Royals get to the inevitable MLB trade deadline. I don't think there is any amount of winning or losing this team could do that would convince them to sell in the way they view selling. They view selling, and I think this is pretty obvious, they view selling as trading away players with multiple years of control, and especially young players with multiple years of control. See Maikel Garcia, Vinny Pasquantino, Chris Bubich, and others, Carlos Estevez, whatever. And trading those players away, that to me is what they would view selling. I honestly think they could win 3 games over the next 2 weeks and they wouldn't sell. They are convinced that even if this is a once-in-a-year blip in which things went a little south, that this is a roster worthy enough to win. They're not going to want to sell off. I don't think they're ever going to sell. So
doesn't feel like it.
I just don't think it's ever going to. Like I think it would almost take them just losing every game until. Like what's the number? It's not 500. It's not 6 games back of the wild card. That wouldn't convince them.
Yeah, I mean, well, a couple of things. The sell. We all use that word, and it depends on everybody. Everybody looks at it in a different way. I mean, you and I both still think they should and will end up trading Seth Lugo before the trade deadline. That's not full-blown selling. What you're asking is like, would they trade a piece with multiple years of control?
Lugo, I don't think factors buy or sell.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Look, before the deadline, worst case scenario, they probably find themselves back to being 7 back from a playoff spot, or 6.5, 7 back. Like that's probably worse. Like even if they lost out, they're probably
7 games back,
7 backs of a playoff spot. So I'm with you. I don't think that swings it to where all of a sudden they're looking to shop. Just throw out any name, Maikel. I think they love Maikel Garcia, and they have multiple years of control, so I don't think he would be in play anyway. But a Carlos Estevez or whatever, I can still see somebody like him getting traded no matter what happens. He's got a year of control after this, but because of his age and value that he might actually currently have, maybe they're comfortable doing that, knowing they have Lucas Erceg. If they had Hunter Harvey pitching, it'd make this decision way easier, because then I think you would for sure trade somebody like Carlos.
Hunter Harvey, I'd trade Hunter Harvey if somebody
if he was healthy. Well, he's got also a year. Oh, no, he doesn't have any control yet.
He's
so
done. They traded him for 2 years, and then unfortunately they didn't do it. Maikel, it's not just that they have control, it's that they have 4 more years under contract after this year for Maikel Garcia, because he's only 25 years old. This goes back to the same thing. Doesn't it feel like Maikel Garcia has been in the Major League Baseball for 1 billion years?
It's because he got signed when he was, 17 years old out of the DR.
But it feels like, even though he's had up and downs.
Venezuela, right? No, Dominican Republic. Yeah.
It seems like it's been up and down for his career, right? Where you're like, has he been a good player? Not sure. Yes and no, and not sure. And it feels like he's been around forever. He is still 3 full years younger than Cam Devaney. Like, there's just nothing I can see that is going to convince the Royals to just pack up this year and back it up. I think the lowest stakes version they're going to be willing to do, Gold, is stay the same. And that's what Adam Frasier is. Adam Frasier is staying the same. It's staying the same, but we like him in the clubhouse. It's not fundamentally
moving
play an
extra, and he can play an extra
position.
Like that's what I mean. Like it's not doing a whole lot. And I guess, some people would rather say, well, there's that 1% I found $1 million lottery ticket, so I'd rather just hold on to it. Again, pipe dream stuff. So
I think there's a 1% chance that Adam Frasier is the kind of glue guy they need in order to make a run to the playoffs. So if we're both saying it's 1%, I'll take the chances on this year versus the 28-year-old who hasn't made the bigs. Adam Frasier, I'm not trying to pretend to claim Adam Frasier's career is something it's not. He is an 8 or 9 year big leaguer for a reason. Like there's a reason why many teams target him as a possibility, but I'm also not going to come in here and tell you that this is the greatest trade that's ever existed. I will say.
By the way, Venezuela was correct. Sorry.
So I almost made everybody uncomfortable by choosing a piece of terminology that's used by younger people when talking about the Adam Frasier. And
let me hear this. 40-year-old Cody Tapp.
I decided not to do it because I could hear. So when we were doing our Witizen event on Sunday for Bobby Wood Jr., and obviously great, nice all-star game for Bobby Wood Jr. last night.
Sure.
This girl had come up, and she was obviously like late teens or whatever. And she was asking us about the Bobby Wood thing, and I was handing all this stuff over. And then she said, she looked me dead in the eyes, and she said, why are you guys glazing Bobby Wood Jr. so much?
Hey. Quit glazing.
And what did you say?
Her friend actually stepped in before. She said maybe because he's one of the best players in baseball. I was like, yeah, listen to your friend.
It's a valid glaze. It's a valid glaze.
What do you mean? Exactly. So I almost said I wasn't going to glaze this Adam Frasier deal.
People are glazing Cam Devaney.
Yes.
Yes, correct. New segment? No.
I don't know.
The glaze of the week?
There might be something there.
This show cannot do that. No. We're all too old. It would sound so stupid.
I don't think.
Drew's still under 30. Maybe he can do it for another couple months.
He's got a couple of months of freedom.
Text line, quit glazing Cam Devaney. That's what we all want to say. Greg Sankey glazes the SEC as he probably should, considering he's the commissioner.
So
right?
You've been following the SEC media days more closely than we have, obviously. And this is the time where I feel like every year, you have Greg Sankey just puff his chest out and tell everybody how great they are.
There's a lot of glazing going on.
Yeah, just tell everybody.
It's kind of incredible the arrogance in which he walks into a room on this stuff right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of the topics regard scheduling, and some of it has to do also with how this college football playoff format should actually exist. Remember, they technically haven't decided for sure what the format's going to be for the season that starts in 5 weeks.
I think the deadline was, by December 1st, I believe it is, they have to figure out what the format will be for next year. Otherwise, it just stays at 12.
Okay. And we know Brett Yormark, Big 12 commissioner, last week said he wants 5+11, the 5-11 model, right? And he's going against really what the SEC and Big 10 want. Here's Sankey's response to all that.
The top 5 conference champions have a role. So that's, unless you're going to go tear up the MOU, which maybe some other people want to do because of their concerns about the decision-making authority, that very clearly in that memorandum of understanding is granted to the combination of the SEC and Big 10. Ultimately, we have to use that authority with great wisdom and discretion. But unless people want to tear it up, we're going to have 5+7, 5+9, 5+11. As I understand, doubling down, so that was one of the phrases last week. That's part of a gambling experience, as I understand. And you always want to have a really good set of cards. You want to have a good hand to play, right? And I think we have the best hand to play.
Referencing Brett Yormark's doubling down comments.
Yes.
He's just saying, essentially what Sankey ended up in this is, we decide, not you. We don't care or value your opinion in any of this.
It technically is true, though, because the conference is deciding, not you. They're technically the brokers of this because and because the Big 12 and ACC, they said, well, we need to be a part of it in some way, so sure, we'll let you get the final say.
They also,
as long as we get a piece of the pie.
They also essentially are openly admitting to their eventual separation from the NCAA. Sankey was like, we don't need anybody else but the 4 now. And you're like,
it technically is true, but it's not currently that way.
I don't actually think it's technically true.
You don't think so?
I don't know how we talk about in baseball, how like a strike could be bad for the sport or anything else. And you can hear and tell me, Gold, that if you're not in one of the 4 conferences, why you should care about their non-affiliated conference if you go to any other school on the planet that is not in those 4. If you're at Boise State and they all separate and the 4 just do their own thing and you have no chance, why should I care what Alabama's doing? Why should I care what Oregon's doing? Why should it matter to me anymore? I think you isolate a huge chunk.
I don't think it's a good
of
thing,
college
but it's
football
possible.
fans by separating. I think the European League learned this when they were like, what if we just took all the good teams and created our own Super League? And the backlash was incredible.
And they've already kind of got
They're
that,
still
too.
acting like that there's some way in which they can't isolate fans, and I think they're wrong.
Yeah, they're going to test the limits. There's no question. I mean, we've already seen it being tested with rivalries going away and everything like that. I mean, I think the question has always been, I think this has been the convo for at least 3 or 4 years now, and we'll see if it's 10 years from now a conversation or if it already happens. But yeah, at some point, if you truly make it just the SEC or just the Big Ten and something like that, which some would argue it's already becoming that, of course, then yeah, does the rest of the country just completely check out of your product? And then your TV deal ends up not being as good eventually.
Yeah, and for the casual fan, like for me, like I'll still watch regardless of what happens. But for the casual fan, especially those who are, as you mentioned, Cody, particularly in it in Boise, Idaho, or in Springfield, Missouri, or wherever the case is, you're not going to be fixed on those schools that are breaking away because they're not a part of the equation anymore for the team that you support or the school that you support. So it is a risky game. You could argue that it's weird because the way that college football works, the small schools need the big schools really to generate the revenue that they do. Like that's why I'll use Akron as the example. No shade against Akron, but Akron voluntarily
got a bunch of Akron alums listening to this show.
Like, what the hell, man?
Akron will voluntarily go and get their butt kicked 63-7 by Ohio State because they get paid $1.5 million that goes to spread in a variety of different ways. But you know, if that breaks away, the small schools need the big schools. The big schools don't really need the little guys anymore, and that's where you see Greg Sankey flexing his muscles.
Are you sure? Standpoint. Indiana just very specifically needed small schools to rig the system yesterday. They spent $500,000 to cancel a game against a good school to go play a bunch of peons in order to soften their schedule enough to try to get in the college football playoff.
But they
so before they just write them off, they did do that.
To me, I think some of the conference scheduling thing is a little bit overblown. Because like Alabama, for instance, I think Kalen DeBoer talked about that same thing this morning. They play Wisconsin, not that overwhelmingly powerful of a program coming from a fan, but they also play Florida State. Again, had a bad year last year, but theoretically speaking, Wisconsin and Florida State, as a part of their non-con, Alabama's doing their due diligence to schedule some tougher opponents. I think the schedule thing's a little bit overblown, more so than the more important matter is the 5+11, the at-large bids sort of stuff, where for now, they're including the group of 5, guaranteeing them a spot. What I'm fearful of is not necessarily when they go to 16, because they still want to include the little guy in there, but are we ever going to get to the point where, look, we're not going to give the group of 5 a spot anymore. We're not going to give Boise State an automatic spot.
And just do 4+12?
Yeah, that's where I'm worried. It's going that would signal the end to me of the relationship of all 136 schools collectively. As soon as they kick the little guy out from getting a guaranteed spot, that's where that transition fully begins, Cody, I think.
Yeah, like they say they don't want the little guy, but you do have to fill out a schedule, and they just canceled
they
can play Kennesaw
those
State.
Schools,
you know?
yes.
Yeah. Like at the moment, based on the system, because with 16 teams, you can play a pretty light schedule, Gold, and still end up in the college football playoff. Doesn't mean you might make a run or not. You're still going to have a good team put together, but
I do wonder,
the softer the schedule, the better.
I do wonder, and this is a minor thing, but scheduling-wise, the in-state school thing, like I know that, like Alabama, for instance, they're going to schedule cupcakes, but they'll play Alabama State instead of
yeah, but they're
I don't know, like Florida A&M.
They're scheduling like Mercer style.
Which is where I think people have a problem. Which is where people have a problem with it. But technically, the way that they excuse it is we're giving schools in the state of Alabama more money. We're giving them a platform. We're trying to help out schools in the state, which is an excuse for scheduling those opponents who they're going to roll and beat anyways.
If UMKC started a football program, would they get games against Kansas State, and Missouri?
They
might against Missouri. They're part of the University of Missouri school system, but they're probably on the Missouri side, yes.
If UMKC gets a football
Maybe
program,
Missouri State's
you
cupcake.
should be begging them to play Alabama because you know how much money UMKC would get in return? It doesn't matter whether they lose 100-0 or not.
Costs a ton of money to start up a football program.
We're going to have a football field.
Yeah, I know, correct. It would. You would make up the cost.
We just got done talking about Sacramento State, who for 2 years you've been telling us is going to be in a power conference, and they still can't get out of the FCS.
They did just recently get a 4-star player over Ole Miss and LSU, of all things, too. They have a lot of money invested in
Kansas also
Sacramento
got
State.
Jamar Chase, so let's wait to see that story play out before we make determinations.
KU great for a week.
KU great. Put it in the rafters.
Is that how long he was committed? It was only a week.
It might have been less than that. It was when Les Miles obviously came over briefly.
All it took was a big school to offer, and then all of a sudden it was over.
Yeah.
That's tough. It's not much dedication and commitment.
Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll talk more about the Chiefs. Yesterday during our show, the Trey Smith news broke. We'll continue talking about that a little bit, and now order of importance of who to get signed, but also where would you put Trey Smith in that kind of hierarchy with the Chiefs roster. But you guys filled me in on something I had not seen happen yesterday in the golf world. We know the Open is tomorrow. Drew, by the way, tomorrow we'll start up our Open leaderboard updates again. Get the vocal cords ready, man. Get them ready. But you guys fill me in on something that happened with Wyndham Clark.
So last month's U.S. Open, he missed the cut, and he lost his mind. And so people shared some photos where he had destroyed portions of the inside of the clubhouse in a fit of rage over missing the cut at the U.S. Open. Something I do not see very often, I feel like, in sports. He has been officially banned from Oakmont Country Club. They've said, you're no longer welcome to come here, Wyndham Clark, until, in fairness, he pays for damages, makes a meaningful contribution. They did not specify the dollar amount, so now he's got to guess what meaningful means, to a charity selected by the Oakmont Country Club board, and undergoes counseling and or anger management therapy.
I mean, it all seems kind of fair, but only in golf would the person be suspended from an event. Like if an NFL player destroyed a locker room, they're not.
A baseball player take a bat to a Gatorade.
The NFL is not suspending the player for the next game.
I think
it just that's like, or from going to any game in Denver or something.
I think if you saw, I don't know, Bobby destroy a Gatorade cooler, vastly different to me than a locker.
Okay, well, let's say it's a clubhouse locker. You know, baseball's still not suspending that player.
I've seen players destroy those things.
But if it's
this is a golf thing because it's a hoity-toity thing, and oh my gosh, we have etiquette.
And everything's so quiet and polite on the course. It's kind of weird when somebody has a fit of rage.
Hang on. If Mahomes destroyed a Chiefs locker, they're not suspending him because it's Chiefs property. He's a part of Oakmont he's not an employee of anybody.
That's a fair point.
But I think
Mahomes,
it's totally different.
In this weird hypothetical,
would he be suspended if he destroyed a Chargers locker?
This weird
he might get fined.
But that's my point. That's the worst case. Or, by the way, it'd be brushed under the rug. The Chiefs would just pay it and they'd move on with their life. Like, that's what would happen.
Like a rock star destroying a hotel room.
It just wouldn't be a big deal, is my only point.
It is a pretty big deal to get kicked out of an entire, major quality country club.
Well, I think
it's a bigger deal if he doesn't agree to these things and decides to just be banned from it.
But and I think the reason why maybe it took Oakmont to, it probably is a good thing actually that Oakmont's doing this because Wyndham Clark has a history of this type of behavior, and anger.
Well, if he needs some help, then maybe this is the wake-up call.
I think actually this could be a blessing in disguise for him in a way. Just like him getting called out in this nature and suspended actually can help. But
they are scheduled to host the U.S. Open again in 2033.
I don't like how they do the rotations for like 5 golf courses over the course of time. I don't like it as much.
So it says it'll be
spread
in
your
there
wings a little bit
until they prove that he's done it.
But yes, the Northern Irish accent will be attempted tomorrow.
Okay. Have you been practicing?
No.
Are you doing Irish or just like?
Technically, it's in Northern Ireland.
Can you give us a little taste of tomorrow, what to expect, and who maybe you want to win this tournament?
Man, okay. So I did. So Scotland last year. I don't know the dialect difference. But
my Irish accent just sounds like I'm doing a bad Lucky Charms commercial. So I got nothing for you.
We might have to go pick up a pint at 12:30.
It's okay.
Post around.
Can you? Okay. All right. Can you give me a group that's teeing off tomorrow?
Shane Lowry teeing off at
4:27
a.m.
Central
Time.
I like that he chose the Irish guy when he's talking.
By the time you start the leaderboard updates, you're gonna half the field's gonna be done tomorrow.
I know.
Can't wait.
All right.
Are you guys gonna wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning like my brother?
Absolutely not.
Watch.
No.
No chance. Up next.
Is it even on TV? Golf doesn't even put it on TV. Sometimes.
It should be on, yes. It's in some way, shape, or form. It might be streaming, but it'll be on.
All right, up next, we'll talk more about Trey Smith, who got that deal done yesterday, and now where he stacks up in importance. Plus, who could actually be under the microscope more this upcoming season? That's coming up.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
You've been having trouble with your roof. Maybe you've noticed that little drip. Maybe the hail came through and you're like, was there enough damage? If somebody around the corner from you on your street has gotten a new roof, it's possible you have enough to warrant filing a claim. The people to call in Kansas City, Century Roofing. They've been in Kansas City for over 35 years and have done over 30,000 roofs and voted best of Johnson County 3 years in a row. They have personally done work on my roof. I can tell you, for someone who I thought I might need a new roof replacement, I just needed repairs. The repairs have gone great, extend the life of my roof, and I don't have to worry about what might be going on where water gets in and it's causing bigger problems down the road and all the stuff that can come with trouble with your roof. So if you've noticed signs of damage after the storms earlier this year, schedule your repair today with KC-based and female-owned Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength. Go to centuryroofingkc.com and tell them that Cody sent you.
Men, summertime is here, and that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be. And if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Heartland Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an enhanced sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
If you love finding the deal and a bargain brings you bliss, the Hy-Vee 5-day sidewalk sale is cause for celebration. This Wednesday through Sunday, stock up and save big on dozens of pantry staples, like Roma pizzas, 4 for $10, Pepsi 24 packs, $9.99, Frito-Lay's chips, just $1.99, Gatorade 8-pack bottles, just $5.99, and Sunbelt granola bars, 4 for $10. Hurry to the huge 5-day sidewalk sale this week, only at Hy-Vee.
I love Hy-Vee, and I love the fact that they're always finding new ways to save me money, like lower prices in every department. And on top of that, I save so much money at the pump with Hy-Vee's awesome fuel saver deals. Monday, July 21st, earn a 40-cent discount per gallon with every $60 in groceries you purchase. So you can stock up for the summertime fun and stack up all of those fuel savings. Seeing that number roll back at the pump is so much fun, and saving money's even better. And you can do it with gas and groceries only at Hy-Vee.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed. which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Travis Kelce Appreciation Day on Fesco and Dusty is on Thursday, August 7th, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
Coming up in 20 minutes, we'll get to the trash of the day, which could be a lot of things today.
People think it's us because we don't hate the Adam Frasier trade to the same level.
Social media mob is strong today. Very strong.
Homers. JJ Piccolo said, I won't come on this show anymore if you don't defend this Adam Frasier trade. That's what people think. It's not true. It's just like...
there is part of me that hopes, just because I know the world will burn a little bit, if Cam Devaney makes a start for the Pirates and goes 4 for 4 in his debut, we are going to get texts that he's a Hall of Fame player now. And I can't wait for that moment because it's going to be also funny, the overreaction to that. It's just, it's truly just a nothing burger trade today. And people are citing the 1% of the 1% of, well, he could be this. Like, yes. Any prospect the Royals have in the system could be a bunch of things.
He could be Aaron Judge.
Could be, because I haven't seen him fail yet. So he could be. Yeah.
It's not even, I don't know, man.
And this is not me telling you Adam Frasier is a great baseball player. That's not my take either. It's just, it doesn't really matter all that much. And Cam Devaney's had every opportunity to get called up. They clearly have told you as an organization, they don't think he's that good. Sorry.
And look, it's not that they've never been wrong on anybody who's been in
Of
their
course,
system
organizations
before.
are wrong all the time.
I'm not trying to claim, but they've been right a lot of times about players that they said are no good as well. So it's like just pretending like this is the time that they're wrong. I didn't realize how many people were high on Cam Devaney. Doesn't it say something, though, that he could not get a single at-bat for a team that can't hit?
Now, people will push back on that and say, well, they just don't know how to yada, yada, yada. But,
evaluate,
so we'll see. We'll see. My guess is this is a trade that none of us are going to remember in about 3 years.
Well, I'm going to remember it now because I can't believe
maybe
how mad it's made people.
Do you remember when?
Don't let this ruin your Wednesday. What were you saying, Drew?
I'm saying you're going to look back in a couple of years. Do you remember when people were freaking out about the Royals trading Cam Devaney for Adam Frasier? That's what we're going to be saying in a couple
Look,
of years.
like someone just said, Adam effing Frasier. This team is not serious.
Yeah, I don't think it's changing much either, if that's fair.
If you're saying they're not buying the way you want them to buy, and you want to turn it into that, okay. I will point out one thing that I've said about baseball one time. In defense,
Cody,
defense of this trade.
Cody, how come they couldn't trade Cam Devaney for a starting right fielder?
Somebody said
that is a 23-year-old that has 5 years of control. How come they couldn't just get that kind of haul for him? He's so good. He's so good, and he's a future Hall of Famer. How come they couldn't get that done?
We are live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. Over on one of the video chats today, you can like and subscribe and catch the full show. Over on one of those chats, somebody said, I don't understand why they didn't just trade for Reynolds for Devaney instead. And I don't know how to
why? I mean, come on. How come they couldn't do that?
That is not an option.
No, but Cody, he's that good.
If he's that good, why is he only? Why did the Pirates only have to give him Adam Frasier?
He's that good. You're telling me you can't get Brian Reynolds for Cam Devaney? My
okay,
goodness.
so I fully switched.
Clearly, just not doing your job.
You guys have driven me to it. It's 11:05. I love this trade for the Royals. It's my favorite trade of the year. Are you happy?
Stop.
Are you happy?
Stop.
Because here's the thing that I think matters in baseball more than we give it credit for, and that is confidence and optimism and a clubhouse that works together. I have seen clubhouses of people who fight, like Billy Butler getting in arguments over shoe deals with Danny Valencia, and I've seen
that's a good
clubhouses
name. I haven't heard that name in a while.
And I've seen clubhouses that work. When guys like Raul Ibanez, who aren't major contributors on the field, add something to the clubhouse in a positive way that allows the team to grow as a young team with confidence. Adam Frasier is a glue guy. He is a guy who the team loves, is a great clubhouse guy, immediately fits, and that's why they're doing it. Not for his baseball ability on the field. They are doing it because they need more good clubhouse guys, and he is that. That's my official stance on the trade now. Okay. I can't believe I never intended to talk this much about the Adam Frasier trade today. Can we talk about Trey Smith for a minute? Let's talk about Trey Smith because the morning show was talking about the most important players on the Chiefs. And really, I was trying to think about it more as it related to Trey, but how I kind of fickle those things through in the middle. Because when he signed the deal, I think I heard, and we don't have to play the whole clip, but I heard Nate Taylor say that, hey, Trey Smith's got to turn into Joe Tooney in order for it to feel like you got every dollar out of this trade. And I kind of do agree with that. If it's like, it's hard to live up to a contract of that size. So, okay, I'll hear it out a little bit. But then I was essentially being asked to rank it. Is Trey Smith, if you're going to pay him this amount, one of the 10 most important players on the Chiefs? And the more and more I thought about it, my answer is yes. Offensive line as a whole is maybe outside of quarterback the most important unit on the entire field as far as the team's performance go. That elite pass rusher, I think, is on there. Quarterback is on there. But I've watched plenty of teams succeed with bad safeties, bad corners, hell, bad wide receiver play. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl without good wide receiver play. I have not seen them win a Super Bowl with bad offensive line play. Trey Smith is probably like 8, 9, or 10 for me, Gold. He's like just inside the top 10. But the only people he's behind are the guys you would think, right? Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, like the normal Trent McDuffie, the people you'd put him on. I'd put him ahead of Harrison Butker, a guy who was a league average kicker last year, and he was hurt, so he missed some time as well. But a league average kicker, when he's at his best, he's better than that. But the drop off from Harrison Butker to league average kicking play, which is what he was last year, is not as big of a drop off to what Trey Smith is to league average left guard play, because offensive line play is bad. I do think he's one of the 10 most important players, I guess.
He would be on the back end of that, I think, but he's absolutely a top 10 player. A lot of it has to just go with the quarterback that you have and the money you have invested in that quarterback. And I know people will cite, hey, well, how did that turn out in the Super Bowl? Again, we're talking about sample size stuff, just like we were with the Royals stuff. Citing the 1% of a 15-2 season or a 5-year stretch of play is not, we can all find the one outlier. The Super Bowl was a disaster for everybody involved.
Him included.
But that doesn't mean that you don't want to lock up Trey Smith to a long-term deal because that one game, it didn't matter who was protecting
and
him.
He played bad.
Yeah, the whole team did. I think for importance, I mean, other than quarterback, and most teams, by the way, important player, the quarterback is always going to be listed number one. It has to be. I don't care if it's Justin Fields or it's Patrick Mahomes. The Jets' most important player, doesn't mean best, but most important player is Justin Fields, because I don't even know who the hell the backup quarterback is in New York this year. What's his name? Retired, Jordan Travis or whatever. I honestly don't know the backup.
Is that a real person?
Jordan Travis was the Florida State quarterback, and
the guy that you backed up so much, Cody.
The guy that
a couple years ago
were so
you backed him up.
He's already retired.
Yeah, he
because the medical stuff.
My stance had nothing to do with Jordan Travis. Anyways, mine is that it is a team event, and they should have been allowed in the playoffs.
I think it's top 10, but it's on the back half of the top 10 on the entire roster.
It can't be Creed above him.
It can't be top 3 or 4 for me as far as positional importance or player importance on this team. But he would be probably 9 or 10 on the list. Mahomes would be number 1. I think Chris Jones is number 2 on that still to this day. Yes. Trent McDuffie would be number 3. I mean, we're talking about premier quarterback, edge rusher, corner. Some of the premier positions on the team.
Rice and Kelce would be higher for me.
We would get into some of the skill position players there.
Is Xavier Worthy more important?
Than who? I don't think so. I honestly don't.
I went ahead and I actually gave a list of
go ahead.
10.
You gave your 10. Let's hear it.
All right, so Mahomes is 1. Trent McDuffie I have is 2. Chris Jones at 3. Rashee Rice at 4. Left tackle Simmons/Moore at 5.
Fair.
Whoever it is.
That's kind of like quarterback. It matters no matter who
This is
your
the one
team
that
is.
you probably won't agree with. I put Nick Bolton at 6. And
too high for me.
And I think it might be a little bit too high, but I think because of what Spags values in him and how he's the guy that runs things, he's come up with
The
some
green
big
dot,
plays.
huh? The green dot.
Argument for guard, both less valuable positions in the NFL. So
Travis Kelce at 7. Trey Smith at 8/Creed. I put Smith and Creed together at 8. Worthy at 9. Harrison Butker at 10.
So you got Worthy in the top 10 by doubling up on some other positions.
Really,
We'll let it slide. We'll let it slide. But that's how you got him in the top 10.
Or if you want me, what I would do is I'd probably take, because I made the argument that Harrison Butker is in the top 10. I think I would take Worthy at 11 and put Butker at 10 and do Trey and Creed at 8 and 9. Because to me, and Cody and I talked, we talked about this a lot before the show yesterday, was I think regardless of who the kicker was, in terms of importance, like Harrison Butker won games for the Chiefs last season single-handedly. He's come up with big kicks time and time again.
But half of the kickers in the league would have made the kicks he made
Sure, but regardless of who the kicker is, I think the kicker's got to be like 10. You just put him at 10 every single time because you're going to need them to come up in a big moment at some point during the season.
No, I was going to say, this is where we disagree. I think kicker only matters when you have a really bad one. When you have a league average or better one, you don't really notice. They make the amount of kicks they make. For the most part, you make as many kicks as most people make. Maybe a few more. Maybe get a little bit of advantage when you got like the elite guy.
I think it's a
when
little
you
bit
got
of
a
an
really
exception.
bad one is when you notice. It's kind of like,
well, sure. When it's really bad, you notice. But I would say in this is a unique situation with Butker because we all know during this run of 5 Super Bowl appearances and in 7 AFC title games, of those, there are 3 or 4 legitimate game-winning type of kicks. And so for him, any other team, I maybe don't even consider.
He was almost a Super Bowl MVP.
For him, he may. I mean, they're not in a couple of these Super Bowls. If it's not, I mean, we all like the AFC title game against Cincinnati. That was a game-winning kick. There was like 2 seconds on the clock or whatever.
But I guess based on the history of the percent, now he's the second most accurate kicker in NFL history. So
yeah, he's the exception to this. I have no problem with what Drew's saying on Butker in this circumstance.
You're saying on most teams you wouldn't put kicker, but you would for Butker.
The reason I think that I would say he's in the 10 is because of the 2 times. It's not even because of all the games. It's the 2 times when everything is on the line and they are the one that has to deliver, whether it's a game-winning kick in the playoffs, whatever it is.
But I'm saying
there is a moment where.
Those.
I know, but which is why I'm saying it doesn't matter whether it's Harrison Butker, Cade York, whoever it is. The kicker, I think, is one of the top 10. Is Cade York? It could be Daniel Carlson, whatever. I think I would put them at 10 just because of the 2 or 3 times that when you're the Chiefs, you're going to be playing in big games, you're going to be in the playoffs, you're going to be trying to go to the Super Bowl. They have to deliver, and I think that's. Why I would put Butker there, or whoever's kicking.
If it was a team that doesn't go to the playoffs and stuff, I think we would say, whatever, it just doesn't matter. But when you're in the big games the Chiefs are consistently in, and truly they're not in some of these without his leg and making some of the field goals, that's why I think he's the exception versus most teams. That's all.
Yeah, the distance kicks is probably where you'd make the bigger argument, certainly.
Yeah, where he's drilling Butker. A 55-yard field goal under pressure, and you're like, man, this guy just...
Last year just had no legs, so maybe part of it is just a recency bias.
He was falling to his knee every time.
That plant leg thing was
weird. Yeah. That's a whole nother part of it maybe we could get to, but that might also be part of where I am on this. Oh, man. I tell you this much. I need the Chiefs offense to look more like the Chiefs offense this year. That's something we can get deeper into next year, but you were asking me a question about...
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time as it relates to credit. We know Andy Reid gets a huge chunk of the credit when he wins.
If
the offense is bad this year... Someone's head's got to roll, right? If it's by bad, by a Chiefs standard, bad, like 11, 12.
Average. If they're an average offense, you think of some names, like what contributes to that. At some point, we can say personnel all we want, but based on contracts and draft capital, a lot of the offensive personnel is kind of the offensive personnel you're going to have for another couple of years. I mean, whether Josh Simmons or Jalen Moore end up being the stud you hope they are, or one of them is, both those guys are on the team next year, and probably there's actually a real chance both are starting next year. Because if Juwan Taylor, contract-wise, is gone after this year, then Jalen Moore or Josh Simmons one of them's playing right tackle as well. So both those guys are part of it. Creed's not going anywhere. Trey's not going anywhere. Rashee Rice not going anywhere next year. Xavier Worthy's not going anywhere next year. Backfield, whatever. Right? We can go on and on. My point is, the players are not going to be the ones ultimately held responsible if this offense is average again, and this team, let's say we're for the first time in 8 years, lose earlier than an AFC title game. And so I was thinking of names like, who do you think will get blamed the most? Well, Andy Reid's not going anywhere. Brett Veach is not going anywhere. Patrick Mahomes, I know, is not going anywhere. No. So then you're down to like Matt Nagy, who never gets credit when it's good and only gets blamed when it's bad, even though it doesn't add up or whatever. Andy Heck, the O-line coach. And then you get into the wide receiver coach. He's like Connor Embry. Like,
is that his name?
You go down to like position coaches. That's if we're sitting here and people are disappointed in the offense because it's average. There's only like 3 names that actually will truly be held accountable from a person, a non-player perspective. Because Andy, Veach, and Mahomes, of course, there's nothing happening, nor should there be.
I'll be honest. Yeah, those guys are safe kids, so they're fine. If the offense flutters again and they're like 12. I don't hate the idea of a little fresh blood in the offense, an outside thinker, a younger name that's maybe a QB coach for a different team coming in here, being the offensive coordinator for the team, and spitballing some new ideas. Problem is if, let's just say, Matt Nagy had to wear it, offense struggles, and that, how this works, teams, this goes back to the hitting coach thing. Typically, when things go wrong, somebody has to be held accountable. It's not usually like the person on top that gets held accountable, and hold Andy accountable's nuts in a general sense. So let's say they went and got a new offensive coordinator. I think there's like a 90% chance it would just be somebody else on the staff. I just think it'd be whoever is like...
Or they bring back like Mike Kafka or something.
Yeah, or Greg Lewis, who left for whatever college gig or whatever. I just think it'd be some other dude who has already been a part of the offensive staff or already been an offensive coordinator for this team before it'd be some like wide receivers coach off of Sean McVay's staff to inject with some fresh ideas. I'm obviously not so worried about the offense. I think Andy can't create an offense. If we were getting to this point, I want it to come from someone outside. Someone from outside the same voices, because they've been the same voices for a long, long, long time here now.
Yeah, I just don't know if that would even matter, because
Andy
Reid is going to be the guy in charge, and he's going to be calling plays. So I don't know if it'll really matter, and overall, of course, the results have been incredible. So I just,
good.
I don't know. I mean, just the standard is very high in Kansas City. When you go to 5 Super Bowls, you are judged on a different tier. We talk about that all the time. The same reason why Mahomes gets more criticism than any other quarterback in football right now, because he is judged differently because of the bar he set. He set. Andy Reid and the Chiefs, 13th offense for some teams would be okay. Kansas City, it's not. It's just a different bar.
I'm assuming it's a talent-related issue because Andy Heck is one of the most respected offensive line coaches in the league. But, I mean, you want to talk about, like, a person held accountable. Like, the offensive line has been. They haven't developed or made someone new.
A lot of resources there, too.
Yes. They've spent top money at right tackle in Jawan Taylor, top money at left guard in Joe Tooney. They just put more top money in center and in right guard. Now, at the same time, you say hadn't developed anybody. Well, then what about Creed and Trey? And I hate when people are like, well, they've been good anywhere. Well, then he doesn't have, well, then Kingsley Suamataia would have been bad anywhere, right? What's the balance between who we give you credit for? To me, it's just about the unit. Is the unit good or is the unit bad? And for multiple years in a row, they have not gotten the offensive line unit to the level that it needs to be under Andy Heck. That seems like the lowest branch to clear. That is, if the offensive problems exist, but it's pretty clear the offensive problems exist because they can't block again, well, then we're probably having different conversations. I also still think it's a league-wide problem, which is crazy. I don't think the Chiefs are alone. You and I both watch a lot of football, Gold. There is a lot of bad offensive line play. There's a reason why you're like, how are the Chiefs so good? Even their offensive line struggles every year. How do they win 15 games last year? How do they go to the Super Bowl and win it the year before when we weren't in love with part of their offensive line plays? Because they're not alone. They run into the problems where they run into the teams who run deep on the defensive line, and then you can't hide your problems anymore. That's what continues to happen.
Trash of the day.
I got messed up. I'm going to call Mac out for this. Mac came in and switched up the stuff. He never put it back.
Trash of the day.
What did he switch?
He switched the hotkey page. I was ready to go. He came in and said, give me a minute, and screwed up some stuff. Dang.
Wow.
Okay.
Right after I gave Matt credit, right at the top of the hour, he started our show at 10:00:00 to the second.
Mac deserves credit for that. I don't know how many times that's happened.
We'll get to the trash of the day right now.
It's like pitching an immaculate inning.
Yeah.
This is a story from Japan. They're offering a new service over there. It's a company that specializes in a wide variety of convenience services. So like cleaning, housing services, to childcare, pet sitting service. However, they have a unique service.
Okay.
They are offering, for a fee, the grandma service. You can have rent a grandma, basically. Rent a female senior between the age of $60 and $94 to be your grandma. It's a real thing.
That's it?
Base fee of 3,300 yen per hour.
Okay.
I don't know what the exchange rate is there.
Why between 60 and 94? I feel like they're leaving my grandpa out, who... my grandpa is 95, 96 years old.
They just figured at that point in time, most people probably aren't going to be able to be a rentable, you know?
Oh. He still lives on his own.
That's great.
Like,
That's amazing.
Does somebody need a rent-a-grandpa? I could see if he's available. Banny might have some free time this weekend.
It's called OK Grandma. OK Grandma launched in 2012, but it's now getting more attention. They have more than 100 seniors employed. A lot of rich life experience, passion.
What do they do?
And they
interpersonal skills to cooking or simple. Now cooking, I'll tell you that much.
I want to say the baking stuff has got to be
some
in there.
old grandma recipes are just breaking out the lard and stuff. You'd be like, okay, let's hold on. Show me some stuff. Maybe if you wanted to pick up like knitting or crochet.
So rent a grandmother. Here's the exchange rate. So $23 base fee, 23 American dollars, plus any transportation fees. They're responsible for any of the granny's necessary expenses. You know, if she's cooking, you got to pay for the food, obviously. That kind of stuff. But this is a real thing. Would you rent a grandma?
You know, at first I was hesitant about this, but I don't know, man. I might be back in. I feel like they could teach you some stuff that maybe you didn't know before. Think about the stuff that, like, I can sew a button, but Gold, maybe you want to be able to sew a button on your shirt.
You can go to Carrington for that now.
Maybe. Is he still sewing, or did he give up on that? I haven't seen him bring anything sewed in for a while. That's why I was asking. But
I think he gave up on that. I think he did the sewing class. There was some girl in the class he was talking to.
I'm still convinced that that's what was going on here.
Well,
he hasn't sewed anything in a long time.
I think specifically for regular household things that they would have had to do, right? The kind of stuff like when you're 90 years old, you went through like Depression era stuff. You know how to like sew some stuff together, bake in unique ways. Like Drew pointed out, it's got to be like cooking or like that kind of stuff. Interpersonal skills. I don't have great ones, but I feel like I'm just going to go somewhere else for those.
If you have children, what do you like? Basically, like, it's not a daycare service or a babysitting service. I mean, I guess they could watch the kid for a little bit.
I just pay a babysitter. I don't feel like she should be.
Although $23 base fee, that feels like honestly, it's not a bad price, right?
I'm guessing you're not allowed to just leave your kids. No, $23. Honestly, you can probably get away with
Someone
that.
says, though, could you imagine, though, you have 94-year-old grandma, what all of a sudden, and that, you know, you have a health emergency or something, that's a bad situation to be in as well.
I mean, somebody said, what if they die in your watch? Do you have to go to the funeral? And I was like, it
depends. Have they been coming to your house for a long time?
It's your grandma.
I say this. I'd like it more if they could teach me about foods I've never made. Like, you know, like you want to pay, like I want to be able to make like a bao bun, or I want to be able to make like
a what?
Roll tamales, right? I want to get some different culture in my life. Mm-hmm. I feel like I need a wide variety of different types of grandmas in order to like.
Cody says he needs a wide variety of different types of grandmas.
I'm not against this, I'll say.
I've got a grandma for this, I've got a grandma for that, and then my favorite grandma, I've got her.
Are any of your grandparents still alive, Drew? My grandpa's still alive. He's my last grandparent.
The last grandparent I have is my grandma on my dad's side. She's 93 now.
Wow.
She's getting up there in age.
My grandpa's 95.
She's still killing it. She's still killing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, unfortunately, my grandparents on both sides have passed away, but that's amazing, man.
Shout out Bancroft Tab.
There you go.
I don't think I would pay.
He goes by.
I don't think I would pay for a grandma.
Someone said they missed the name. This is a company based in China,
my grandpa was a very good golfer, Drew. He could give you lessons.
Someone said they should have called it Only Grams.
Oh my God!
They should have.
That would have been so good.
They're not going to call it that.
That would have been so good.
This was in Japan. We could start our own here.
Only Grams? I mean, that's amazing.
We've always looking for a business opportunity in this show that actually works. We could start Only Grams. Now the problem is we need some of you to volunteer your grandparents. You know what's nice about this is that this is good for both parties. Sometimes they say like you're 70 or 75, maybe you get a little lonely.
Yeah,
you want to get out of the house.
To go
you
do
need
stuff
to interact and get out of the house with. I bet you'd love to show some old family recipes to some people who are also paying you money. Only Grams. That'll be our new. That's our new business idea. You guys ready to get started?
Only Grams. Let's launch it.
I think that is.
But I think we need to take it to at least 95. I think my grandpa should be allowed to be included if he wants to.
Yeah, we can add the extra.
Well,
age,
yeah, of course.
I don't know if that's a legal thing. you think that's an insurance overhead thing?
Maybe they have to sign a waiver that they
Does this already
agree to
exist? Did
this.
somebody already take the idea? There's an Instagram account called Only Grams, but it looks like it's for a product out of Germany. Oh, only it's a weed product in Germany.
Makes sense.
Only Grams. Yeah. Okay. It's a company in Berlin that looks like, based on the photos, it looks like, pre-rolls, it looks like they specialize in.
Hey.
Anyway, up next, we will get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour, something that Nate Taylor said yesterday with The Drive about McDuffie and his future.
This is Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30.
We need to nip this in the bud. We need to nip what in the bud?
On your home for Royals baseball, 96.5, The Fan.
Go Yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. Underdog, the leading place to make all your sports selections, and you can play in your state. I was on the Missouri side last night watching a little baseball there late, and you could have done the same thing I did, which is join the millions of fans who won billions making plays at Underdog. So, for instance, I thought Bobby Jr. go higher than one hit. You can choose a player to go higher or lower than their favorite stats: home runs, strikeouts, total bases. Football around the corner, you can do yards or first downs or the things in between there, and you can make those selections over at Underdog. It's really easy. You just download the app. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So you really can turn $1 into $1,000 simply with your baseball knowledge. Download the Underdog app and sign up using promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to unlock a special offer for up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See underdogfantasy.com/web/deposit-match-terms. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
The summer selection is on at Reiselman Nissan, and 0% financing is back. Get 0% APR for 5 full years on new Rogues, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Or go long with 1.9% for 72 months, or 84 months at just 3.49% APR. Get up to $6,000 in total rebates on the rugged Frontier. And if you're leasing, you'll pay 0 sales tax. That's real savings. Nobody in Kansas City beats our deals or our selections. Visit Reiselman.com for details. Reiselman Nissan, every customer, every time.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830 and schedule your AC system tune-up for just $59. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified pre-owned vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months, plus a $200 gas card with purchase. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Imagine buying your next car from one dealership.
With the support of many.
With everything you'll ever need.
When you buy from any of the Balderson Auto Group dealerships, you're getting the support from all of our dealerships.
Like our 100 service bays, collision, and detail centers.
And our free exclusive lifetime warranty. No other auto group gives you that.
From north, central, south, the Balderson Auto Group has you covered.
A family committed to
excellence, growth,
and harmony.
Go to bagkc.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or 2 half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-750-2525. That's 800-750-2525. Again, that's 800-750-2525.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for a new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour brought to you by All Weather Decks, Kansas City's most respected deck builder. Check them out at allweatherdecks.net. Stormy in Kansas City. Great day. Sit on the deck. I like when it's like rain. Well, it's supposed to be rainy later. I like when it's like
I'm looking out, but I'm like, it looks clear and sunny, and it doesn't look like storms to me, man.
It's supposed to be rainy today and tomorrow. Or at least there's a chance for it in the forecast.
Cloudy with a chance?
Yeah, exactly. And so when it's my favorite. Like, just as long as it's not like coming in sideways, you can sit in the screen porch and it's okay.
There you go.
What is the sound of raindrops?
I like that sound too. Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I gave a take on Adam Frasier in the break that I think Drew would just not want me to even take to the air.
Oh, it's
based on.
Hang on a second. No. You know what? Go on ahead. As long as I don't have to hit the dump button.
Okay, so here it is. Here it is, Drew. I'm still stunned at the backlash for Adam Frasier becoming a member of the Royals. You don't have to be psyched about it, but I'm surprised about the backlash over this, and it all seemed to be relating back to Cam Devaney. A player who is 28 years old, has been in multiple organizations, has not gotten a single big league at bat, despite that fact. And I figured out what it means to me. This energy, Cam Devaney's bad, and we don't, or Cam Devaney's not bad, we don't know. He's an unknown, a total unknown. I've decided this is cheater energy. If you have the energy of he could be good because we've never seen him good, is the exact same energy that somebody has when they're like, I think I'm going to cheat on this girlfriend because that girl could be better. And I'm going to find out if it's better. And I don't know. It's the same vagina. You're just saying no, it's going to be different because it's unknown. They just want the unknown version of it, Drew. That's what it is. It's cheater energy.
No. You know what
Did you just make a cup?
Hang on a second.
I mean, when I woke up today, hold on. When I woke up today,
it's cheater energy.
There's a lot of conversations I knew we were going to have.
That's what's strange.
A lot of conversations I knew we were going to have on the show today. I knew we were going to talk about in a second what Nate Taylor had to say.
Did I need to hit the button?
No, that's a
medical term.
That's a female anatomy term. He's fine. He didn't use the slang term, thank goodness. There's a lot of things we knew we were going to talk about today.
You could
never in a million years, Drew, did I think we were talking about Adam Frasier at Cam Devaney today. Then the other part, I sure as hell didn't think we were going to get a comp between the Adam Frasier, Cam Devaney trade to going and finding somebody else in your relationship.
I think the people that are diehard for Cam Devaney are just somebody constantly looking for Strange. Just can't be happy with your life, you know?
This is
I thought that was...
I thought this was the Chiefs ran half hour, and you just gave us a comp between Frasier and Devaney to do with like a relationship and cheating on somebody. Wow.
I'm just...
You really don't want to go to camp next week, do you? You're trying to get that suspension.
You really could have just said it. You could have compared it to the college football national title trophy, and then it would have just been done, and it would have been done there.
Then for the people...
I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that at all.
Okay. Chief, for a half hour.
Do you want to just read? You want me to read
play the intro again, please.
Let's start fresh.
Okay. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Brought to you by All Weather Decks, Kansas City's most respected deck builder.
All right. Whew. Let's talk some Chiefs football. Nate Taylor was on the drive yesterday. Of course, after the news, Trey Smith gets the 4-year deal worth $94 million, $70 million of which is guaranteed. And immediately in the 1 o'clock hour yesterday, you and I were already talking about Trent McDuffie, especially once Sauce Gardner's deal became public knowledge. Like, all right, he's next up. What's it going to look like? What's the timeline and all that? Nate Taylor was asked about that very thing.
Now, after you pop some champagne, you do a round of applause, you take a deep breath. Ooh, buddy, you got to go through this again because when the Chiefs travel to Sao Paulo, Brazil, a couple days before the season opening game that Friday night, you have better had a deal in place using the 5th-year option as a little bit of an extender because you already enacted that to get a deal done with Trent McDuffie. Because if you don't do it now, that price is only going to go up because, kids, I'm telling you, I have more confidence in Trent McDuffie being an even more excellent player further in his career than I do right now with Trey Smith. And you had to get a deal done with Trey Smith. So they're in the same boat, and now their timeline is basically, okay, can we get something done before opening night, similar to what they did last year with Creed Humphrey. They got that deal done. That set them up to get this deal done with Trey Smith, and now Trey Smith has set themselves up to get a deal done with Trent McDuffie.
I guess the question is he going to be one of those I won't negotiate in season types?
The Chiefs usually don't, also.
Because there's no one left to set the market different for Trent McDuffie than the one that was just set, right? Like, that market's been set. Sauce Gardner is the highest paid corner. You're going to have to match that number in order to do it. And it's funny because this goes back to kind of a conversation we were having yesterday about the players, and this is why I'm kind of fascinated. You and I had said, hey, there's no argument over McDuffie is a better player than Snead, is a better player than Ward. But what we saw a lot on the text line yesterday is, does this make it hard to bring back McDuffie or Karlaftis? And people were fearful of losing one of those two players. The Chiefs obviously value McDuffie more, so we know their answer. But if you only had the choice between one of those two players, at what I believe will be a similar number per year, are you going Trent McDuffie or George Karlaftis? Defensive line is a more important position.
Yes, it is.
Pass rushers are a more important position. And yet, because of just how good Trent McDuffie is, my answer would still be Trent. The Chiefs' answer would obviously be Trent because he didn't say the next deal on the docket is George Karlaftis's. He said the next deal on the docket is Trent McDuffie.
It's tricky because we fast forward 3 years from now. Chris Jones, who knows where he's at in the league, where's production's at? Is he still under contract? Have they reworked it? All of that. And so if let's say Chris Jones is not the same player in 3 years, you're saying, where am I getting my pass rush from? Now, this is also acting like there's no scenario where they find another edge rusher in the draft or something, or already didn't find
like Gelati or Omar Norman Lott.
So that's where I would like, because initially you'd be like, well, then where's the sacks coming from in 2 years if you don't have Karlaftis or Chris Jones? And I get that, but also that would be acting like there's no draft that exists. So my answer is, to me, Trent McDuffie is the player I would choose every single time in this scenario. He is different, as we said yesterday, than Charvarius Ward. He's different than L'Jarius Snead. Those were very nice players that they let walk. They have a nice track record of developing talent. Trent McDuffie was a top 25 pick in the draft, and he has put himself in the category as one of the best corners in all of football that also has versatility. You don't let guys like that walk, or you don't trade them this early on in their career.
Is this the first defensive lineman not named Chris Jones? Is this the first defensive lineman not named Chris Jones that they've had that's worthy of a contract extension since D Ford?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they brought in Frank Clark, of course, right? They paid for him.
I meant as in like a guy they drafted and then kept around.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I know it sounds scary right now, like saying, hey, in 2 years, Karlaftis is gone and Chris Jones is maybe on the way out.
Yeah, I don't think I'd love to rebuild
But that's
all that.
also acting like that none of the picks this year on the defensive line are going to work out. It's also acting like next year they don't maybe draft. I actually think like that for predicting.
Yeah.
I think they're either going to draft a corner or a defensive end in the first round next year. Like that's my prediction right this second.
My guess too. And D Ford they let walk, in fairness. He was maybe worthy of an extension, but they traded him and then moved on without giving him a contract extension. He only played 5 years in Kansas City. It was crazy. His career fell apart when he left town. He only ended up with 9.5 sacks in his final 3 years and has been retired for 4 years now. Karlaftis has been a healthy player. Karlaftis has been a better player than D Ford. I will say, I'm a part of the grouping of, I'm a little fearful of building an entire defensive line currently around nobody. Now, that's why I'm fearful. I don't know anything about Gelati. I don't know anything about Omar Norman Lott.
Or do they draft a stud next year? We have no idea.
If those guys are really good, then I'm probably a lot less fearful of what life looks like without both Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. Because the truth is, I think you're going to need 2 George Karlaftis level players to equal losing 1 Chris Jones. You can't just, you're going to have another player equal to George Karlaftis to replace what you're losing in Chris Jones. Those guys don't grow on trees. You're going to have to be better across the entire defensive line versus you've been able to just rest your laurels almost on having the most dominant interior defensive lineman for the last couple of years and at least the second most dominant defensive lineman of the last probably interior defensive lineman of the last 6 to 7 years in the NFL. So, I'm a little worried about what life without Karlaftis would look.
Is this his last deal on his? Is this the last year on his rookie deal, George
Karlaftis?
Or does he have another one after
George
this one?
Karlaftis has a club option, 5th-year option next year.
Okay, so
for $15 million.
I think that's why they won. The left tackle need was so dire in a way that's why they took Josh Simmons. But I think that's why they got Gelati. Let's see what he looks like. They got Norman Lott. They addressed some things. This is kind of a feel it out where if they feel the need to, they'll draft one in the first round next year. They'll go from there. Where somebody on the text line said, would you rather have elite corner or edge? George Karlaftis, he is a good edge. He's not elite.
I agree.
Trent McDuffie is one of the 3 best corners in football.
Correct.
You'd rather have him.
I agree. I also think now, let's say this year happens, and unfortunately Chris Jones looks like he's lost a step. I don't think that's happening, by the way, but
it could.
Let's say he looks like he lost a step. And Karlaftis himself has 10 sacks, but Chris Jones, you're like, oh man, maybe Father Time caught up. And we're sitting here in February. At that point, the answers might be different, admittedly. Because then at that point, you're saying, well, shoot, you can't wait for guys to develop. You can't wait to hit on this draft pick. You got to make sure you keep the guy that is your number one. Now, that's a very specific hypothetical, but that would be something that would have to change your thinking. If this year Chris Jones wasn't healthy or just production dipped in terms of, like last year the sacks were lower, but we still watched him and he was very effective drawing all kinds of attention. If the sack numbers dip and he's just not the same player, it's a whole different conversation.
You could do a similar thing with McDuffie, so forgive the numbers, but the other part about Karlaftis versus McDuffie where I don't think the number's ever going to go down. You could play this almost like the way a Major League Baseball team plays a player who comes up, who you don't end up giving a contract extension to, but you get the maximum value out of. You pick up the 5th-year option with George Karlaftis. You pay him the $15 million. That's well below market value for what you'd have to pay him to be on your team if he was a free agent. The following year, the defensive end franchise tag number this year was $22 million. So maybe 25 in 2 years. Let's call it. So I can get 3 more, including this year. 3 more years of George Karlaftis to make a decision on a contract if I want.
That's also why you get the McDuffie.
I can just ride it out forever if I want.
That's also why you get the McDuffie deal done, ideally before the season. In a year or two, you're talking about, a franchise tag for Karlaftis, and then you really wouldn't have anybody else necessarily in line for a franchise tag in your organization as you map it out at this point in time. So I'm with you there. Now, you gave us a very interesting comp to start the Chiefs Red Half Hour, to say the least. Do you have a comp? Who's the Cam Devaney of the Chiefs? Is there one, and is there a veteran? Yeah, is there a Cam Devaney of the Chiefs?
God, I don't even know what that's
like. If the Chiefs trade back, okay. So McCole Hardman is on the Packers. They already traded him back with the Jets. So if McCole Hardman came back, he's Adam Frasier,
and they traded him for Tyquan Thornton. That would probably be the comp, wouldn't it?
No, but we've seen him. We've seen him. It's got to be somebody that hasn't really played at all.
Everyone's too high.
Felix has probably played too much, but I think Felix is is a great example of a guy who's just a body on a roster where if he doesn't play much this year, he's in year 4 or 5. I think Felix can.
I don't know if there's a direct Chiefs comp at the moment. McCall's probably the right answer for the vet you would bring back.
Yeah.
He's a guy. He's on the roster. He's going to have a 10-year career. Like, I like the comp of McCall Hardman, but to get the guy off the Chiefs, you're going to have to choose someone who's played a little. I think it's probably going to have to be Tyquan Thornton because essentially there are minor league players,
it's Carson
right?
Steele. It's Carson Steele. It's still him. We saw him a little bit, though. He did fail. He fumbled. It'd be if Carson Steele would never have played last year. We only saw him at training camp, but he didn't have a single snap in the NFL season. Then that would be the Cam Devaney.
Or Nico.
But see, Carson Steele's young. You know, it's got to be.
It's not. It's got to be. That's why Tyquan Thornton makes more sense than anyone else on the roster.
Yeah, someone could Cornell Powell or Justin Ross. Yeah, it's the. How could you give up on Justin Ross for McCall Hardman? How could you do it?
The answer is probably Cornell Powell.
That's your Cam Devaney, Adam Frasier.
Has never really played, never really gotten close to being an NFL player, although Tyquan Thornton has 385 career yards. So I would argue he's barely played. But Tyquan Thornton's only 24. I mean, my God. Is Cam Devaney the oldest person on the planet based on the athletes we keep searching up? I'm looking for older players, and I can't figure it out. Like, and it's not even that. It's just... Yeah, mostly because NFL players, if you haven't made it by 28, you're definitely out of the league. Baseball players will let you kick around. Cornell Powell's 27. There's our official comp. This would be like trading Cornell Powell for McCall Hardman today.
How much does Cornell Powell play, though?
With.
Like, is it even...
He hasn't really played.
Cam Devaney hasn't played. What do you mean? Cornell Powell also played in college, the minor leagues of the NFL, and didn't play since.
That's the point. We're obviously just having fun here, but that's the point of it.
Cornell Powell has played exactly 3 games in the NFL in 2022.
That actually is the right one. Because how many has Devaney?
0. Well, he's been in the big leagues for like a week. He does not have any major league at bats.
Perfect.
Which is exactly what he did. He didn't play any offensive snap, or he played a couple of offensive snaps, but very few. You get the point. Good old. And see, Mike Pennell, no good. He's played too much. Sky Moore played too much. Yeah. That's like trading Adam Frasier for Adam Frasier. We're not looking for that comp. Like veteran. When I mentioned like A.J. Jenkins for Jonathan Baldwin, that's our random vet for your random vet. That's not what this trade is. This trade is your random vet, Adam Frasier, for our guy who's never made the big leagues, but is also pretty old for prospect standards at 28 years old, in Cam Devaney, who doesn't have a single major league at bat. He's Cornell Powell.
But based on text today, actually the real comp would be if you traded Tom Brady for aging veteran player. That's what the Royals did, actually. They traded Tom Brady away today.
Can I ask, if 2 years ago, I don't know what the comp for McCall Hardman is. Or last year, if the trade that they had made for McCall Hardman last year was for Justin Ross, would people have had this energy?
Say that again?
If they had traded Justin Ross last year for McCall Hardman last year, is this what the energy would have been?
No, because this whole Adam Frasier, Cam Devaney thing is definitely just a baseball thing. And it's a baseball thing, and it's a fan base that's obviously frustrated with a team that has not met expectations, understandably so. That's what's happened today. That's what's happened.
It really got out of hand, I think, personally.
Someone said Shane Buechele, actually.
Shane Buechele? No. The Chiefs traded Shane Buechele. I said he should have been the backup last year. He's not even going to be the backup this year.
Nope.
This is right back in the veteran game. You know they love a good veteran. Now,
Gardner Minshew, I actually think is an upgrade.
I kind of hope we get him at training camp.
So do I.
Over the next 11 days. If you'd like to see the days we'll be up at training camp, they're up on our social media channels. Alex and I will have 11 shows up in St. Joe. Looking forward to it? I'm looking forward to getting back into
football days.
Starts. Yeah.
The first couple of days are fun. You're out in football again.
Like seeing the listeners. That kind
you
of
don't
stuff
have to talk about Cam Devaney, Adam Frasier trades. That and act like they're huge deals. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's talk about what the league's saying about Patrick Mahomes for a minute, because they put out the execs, scouts, and GMs put out their list over at ESPN of where they rank him. They have Patrick Mahomes first. The bigger surprise outside of that is that the lead is slipping. Jaden Daniels is 5th, and Goff and Baker Mayfield are both top 10 guys. Those are the ones that stand out to me as being, I think they're jumping too high on Jaden Daniels. I think they would have probably done the same thing or close to the same thing with CJ Stroud. And in all things NFL, give it a little time before you make firm decisions. I think that there's a very good chance Jaden Daniels ends up a top 5 quarterback in the NFL and the best NFC guy so that he gets to run supreme over there versus the 4-headed monster that exists in the AFC. But we don't need to make that determination yet. He should be like 10th. He should be
it
below
seems,
Goff and Hurts and the other guys.
Seems a little quick. The top 4 that the GMs had in this survey or whatever were the same top 4 that I gave last week, so I have no issue with it, obviously. At 5, I did not have Jaden Daniels. I had Matthew Stafford or Dak Prescott. People disagreed with that, but I'm with you. Jaden Daniels, he's got to do it for 2 years in a row at least, because last year a lot of people had C.J. Stroud 5th or 6th, and then he had a sophomore slump, and now he's not in the top 10 for anybody. So it can change very, very quickly, even though Jaden Daniels had the better rookie year than Stroud did. I have no problem
with that. But to that point, Stroud had the best rookie year ever.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have no problem with Jared Goff I have him in my top 10 as well. I have no problem with that. I would have Dak still in there. The one, I don't think I could put Baker Mayfield in the top 10. I disagree with that. I also disagree with Herbert being 7th on this list.
I'm torn on Herbert because I kind of agree with the analyst on him versus Lawrence in the sense that he's a very, very talented quarterback who can make very few throws that quarterbacks can't make. With him, I just can't put my finger on what's wrong with him because all of it checks. Like he can throw for yardage, he can throw for touchdowns, he's accurate, he moves well in the pocket, he stays healthy for the most part. You're like, but like I told you earlier, I don't feel like he's a killer. Like I just feel like he'd offer to take your grocery cart back or something. Like, I don't know he just seems like too nice of a guy. Like, I don't think you can't be a nice guy, but I think you like Josh Allen comes off as like a nice guy. But when the moment in the football game happens, he feels like he's out for blood. He's going to run people over, ruin your world. And I never get that feeling. Not that he's never had a come from behind victory, but I don't feel that way about Justin Herbert very often. And so like that part really gets me. I don't think you can be a top 7 quarterback in the NFL and never have won your division. I think you need to have successfully accomplished something to be a top 7 or 8 quarterback. All the other guys have. Jaden Daniels has already made an NFC title game. That's further than Justin Herbert's ever been. I don't have to give the accomplishments for the top 4. We're familiar with how far into the playoffs they've gone. They've all been in the very least a conference championship, a Super Bowl in Joe Burrow's case. Baker Mayfield's won his division 4 years in a row.
3, I think.
Or 3 years in a row, right? So
you put Baker and Jared Goff over Herbert?
Goff's played in a Super Bowl. Goff's been to an NFC
Goff
title
is
game.
Firmly
Goff
in the
won
top
his
10.
division.
Goff is firmly
agree.
in the top 10. People are disagreeing with me on the Dak Prescott over Baker. I think it's a lot of recency bias there. Obviously, Dak Prescott last year only played in 8 games. He was hurt. No kidding, Baker had the better season a year ago. But Baker's had really 3 strong seasons in the NFL. I would argue Dak's had 4, 5 plus of them. Dak Prescott also finished second in MVP 2 years ago. Baker has never done that. Like I understand recency on this. Last year, Baker was way better as a quarterback. He was available all year too. But I would still, for this season, if you put them in the exact same circumstance, I would still rather have Dak Prescott as my quarterback. I know people think that's crazy, but I don't know why. If you actually look up the numbers and don't just look at your fantasy football record
or what
from
he did last year. Yeah,
I'm still putting Jordan Love over Justin Herbert.
I'm not there. I'm definitely not there.
He's done more than him too. I mean, he's won a game in the playoffs. He was. He didn't make it to the NFC title game, did he?
But Justin Herbert's stats are better. Like Justin Herbert's been better in everything except for the one playoff win. More touchdowns, more yards, better thrower of the football. Like I don't want to rank one. I'm not saying that wins. I think wins should matter some, and playoff wins should matter some. But like, I can't just make one playoff win be everything. But Justin Herbert's never led the league in passing yardage, led the league in touchdowns, and he's had a 5,040 touchdown season, but he didn't lead the league in anything either of those years. And that was in his second year in the league. And since then, he's been pretty mediocre. He didn't throw, his interceptions have gone down, but that's become conservative, Herbert. And I don't know, man. He's obviously very good. I would probably put him in the top 10. I wouldn't have him 7th, but he would be somewhere on that list. The only thing I know is that Mahomes, if he has another season like he did last year, some execs are going to push someone above him.
Stats don't mean anything. So we're just strictly eye tests, only eye test stuff.
Is it just success?
Well, by the way, if it's only eye tests, well, then Trevor Lawrence and Herbert are both in the top 7. I mean, shoot, based on mechanics and everything, those guys are the best quarterbacks in the league. If stats don't matter, like,
wins. If we're talking success, then Bill Russell is your greatest basketball player of all time. Yeah. Tom Brady is your
that might be the
quarterback
case anyway, so you're okay there. But yeah, the championship one is always tough because we only want to count it when it matters. That's why, and this isn't even to be a knock, but why I get in an argument with you over Joe Burrow. It's like I kind of refuse to put Burrow ahead of Allen and Jackson just because he won one more football game once. It's like there's a huge sample size. I got 5 years of evidence. I got multiple playoff runs, how many playoff games they've been to, how many playoff games they won. And one of those years, Joe Burrow did manage to win one additional game than those guys have managed to win in all those other years. But it's like, it's hard to it's so tough to quantify.
The reason he's higher to me is because because Josh Allen hasn't made the game and he also has never beaten Joe Burrow. I think that's like the tiebreaker. Ultimately is the team stat thing, the team award or the team win, whatever it is.
All right, up next, guys, we will get to what's trending and we'll get right back into the All-Star game last night, the swing off that happened, and how the Royals represented themselves. That's coming up here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold.
You will not decorate my balls, period. I will decorate my balls.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, it's Gold, and Circa Millions and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million, pick 5 games against the spread each week, 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no point spread, last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $21 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Alex. Hello. We've been trying to track you down. I don't know if you've noticed that. Do you have any idea why?
Something to do with the radio thing.
Every month we're doing a giveaway. GiveMeTheVin.com.
Giveaway? What you giving away, man?
$25,000.
Alex Jackson of Pensacola, Florida is the latest winner of Give Me the Vin's Big Cash Giveaway.
Are you for real?
Every time that you sell a car to Give Me the Vin, you go into a drawing for that month. And dude, you won.
That's great, man. I'm having a baby boy in about 3 months. That's a lot of diapers, man.
Name him John Clay.
Okay.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Jefferson's has a brand new happy hour designed to save you money. Enjoy half off appetizers and half off your bar tab. 7 days a week at Jefferson's Lenexa and Jefferson's North Kansas City. Yeah, you heard that right. Half off your bar tab during happy hour at both locations. And it gets even better. Mondays are all day happy hour. Plus, they've got reverse happy hour every night. Whether you're catching the game or just kicking back with family and friends, Jefferson's in Lenexa and North Kansas City is the place to be. Proudly local and always delicious. Jefferson's, wings, burgers, oysters.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent fountain and frozen drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, or dig between your couch cushions, or ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. We take those too. 89-cent frozen and fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
It's funny how one little light can stall out your entire day. I was already running behind, and now this, the check engine light. So I reached out to my go-to problem solver. Dad, check engine light. What do? He didn't miss a beat. Take it to Telly, he said. So I did. When I got there, they didn't just fix my car. They fixed my day. They were quick, clear, and took care of everything. Next time my car glitches out, I'm heading for Telly. Don't let that little light be game over. Take it to Telly.
It's not too late to enjoy your summer with a new or improved deck. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule a consultation today. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. You are one click away from your best summer ever.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do At the Pro Desk, the Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/2025. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for a new Superman cake batter cookie dough blizzard treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman cake batter cookie dough blizzard treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Cody and Gold, live from St. Joe at Chiefs training camp all summer long with exclusive access and interviews with the reigning AFC champions. Right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Well, we start with the trade of the day, the trade of the season.
Century.
That has people outraged today. Cam Devaney was traded to the Pirates. Adam Frasier is back with the Royals.
I'm really sad we're not having Vern on today. We'll talk more about it, I'm sure, later in the show. Especially
maybe you
because
could have given him your comp, Cody.
You guys do seem to
you're still
care
wild for that comp.
About this
Wild.
cheater mindset. That's what it is.
Wild, Cody.
Same people who think Cam Devaney's got a chance, and Adam, it's cheater mentality. They just want some strange. It's the same vagina.
That is wild.
You would have given me 100 guesses. I would have never done that.
I do really like that I said I had a comp in the break that I don't think Drew's going to want to take to the air. And then he's like, no, give it. And then immediately regretted saying, give that take.
Excuse me?
Because I don't think that's what he saw coming. Next up on What's Trending, the NL did win the All-Star game last night in a home run swing off. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. The Royals players overall did okay. Carlos Estevez had a scoreless inning. Michael Garcia got on base and came around to score. Bobby Witt Jr. had an RBI double. Chris Bubich had a rough outing. He gave up a 3-run home run, but it's the All-Star game. It's fine. But the NL did end up becoming victorious.
Yeah, it was awesome last night. It really was. It was a great showcase for Major League Baseball. Swing off added to it for sure. Up next, KC Current won the Teal Cup last night at CPKC Stadium. That was a 2-1 win over Corinthians FC, I believe it was. And so they get a little more time off before NWSL play picks back up.
Next up on What's Trending, Wyndham Clark has officially been banned from the Oakmont Country Club following property destruction that took place at the U.S. Open at the last U.S. Open earlier this year. Obviously, they've said there's a chance he could do it, but their board will have to agree to reinstate him if that takes place. Wyndham Clark damaged some property. They said he'll have to pay for the damaged property, they said, comparable donation, like something that they deem fair to a charity of Oakmont's choosing, and seek anger management or mental health services. So, Wyndham Clark banned from Oakmont Country Club after destroying some property.
Lastly, on What's Trending, Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever over in the WNBA towards the end of the game last night suffered a groin injury. She's been dealing with a injury throughout much of this season. Has just not been able to be not be able to be healthy. The update so far is that there is no update. Her head coach said she felt something obviously there. They'll get it evaluated, see what happens from there. The All-Star game is coming up this weekend. She was expected to participate in the three-point contest in front of her home fans there in Indy. Obviously, that's probably not happening. The question is, are they going to sit her for a month?
They probably should.
Versus just the 5 games before. So big injury. She was crying, obviously in pain and everything last night.
I don't know if it's the same
Different groin. I think it's I think this is the right, and the original was maybe the left.
Because I was going to say,
overcompensation.
She had a groin issue, then she had the quad issue. Now she's got the groin issue again. They might just shut her down for not the season. I don't know if the season's
Hopefully
good.
not.
But, I mean, because she means so
How's
much
that
to
for
the
the
league.
card market?
I mean, it's not good.
For your sake, Gold, yeah, you want her to.
I don't think it really honestly shifts it a whole lot. Nobody's saying her career's not over. But yes, it would be awesome if she was playing and having triple doubles right now. Yes.
Did the injury for Wemby really take a nosedive on his card market?
Some
because
of it,
that
his
thoracic.
But that was a far more serious thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And now
And
he
he's cleared
recently
from
just
it.
got cleared. But we're talking about blood clots or whatever. That could be a career ender kind of thing.
Especially for a big man.
But he actually
Yeah.
did just get cleared to play this year for the Spurs. That is what's trending, by the way. Here on Cody and Gold. Don't forget, on a Wednesday, head over to Jefferson's. They got that brand new happy hour. It's going to save you some money. 7 days a week, you can get half off appetizers, half off your bar tab, whether it's Jefferson's out in Lenexa or up in North Kansas City. That is half off your bar tab at both locations during happy hour. So whether you're going out to watch a game, you want to watch Adam Frasier hit, maybe you want to talk with other people about Cam Devaney no longer being with the organization, you can do that at Jefferson's. Wings, burgers, oysters.
Great spot, as you well know. Hopefully you guys will head out there and give it all a shot outside of there. Let's talk about the All-Star game last night. I think, once again, a couple of nice wins for Major League Baseball, right? They get the automatic balls and strike system, shows how simple it is, introduce it to fans, Gold, who haven't been watching Cam Devaney at bats in minor league baseball every single second of every day and aren't familiar with it. So they get a chance to see that. The swing off is obviously the best way to end a tie in an exhibition all-star game. There's no question about that. For Royals fans, they get to see some of their all four of their players who were all-stars enter the game. I thought it had everything. My only question would be, as it related to the swing-off, you'd want the biggest stars doing it, and I didn't realize half of them left early.
Yes, the concept,
I don't want to let that ruin all
the concept of the swing-off was awesome. Instead of just playing another 2 innings or 3 innings to decide it, let's have some fun. Let's basically have a home run derby, a mini home run derby, a swing off. They did. And yes, would it have been amazing if it was Ohtani and Judge as 2 of the candidates? Of course. But as you said, a couple things. One, some of the players have left, but also a lot of the players, much like a spring training game, when they're done, in this case, 2nd or 3rd inning for Judge, they go shower, they get in dress clothes or normal clothes, street clothes, I should say, and they're just done. They're just done. Now, not every player did that.
Why not just stick around another 90 minutes?
I can't answer that. I think some of them wanted to get on the rest of their vacation or whatever and go back home with the family.
You
and
only
everything.
get a few days off, and the All-Star game eats up a couple.
But yeah, I mean, I think the actual setup of it, though, they can fine-tune it, but the concept of swing-off was awesome. I think it was a huge win for baseball last night. The swing-off was great. Drama filled there. Schwarber was awesome. I also think the automated ball strike system, the ABS, was a slam dunk. We saw the first 3 times it was used. I think they all got overturned. It was great. You all saw, maybe for the first time, if you haven't been to a minor league game, you saw how easy and quick it is on the broadcast for it to be determined. And it's going to happen next year, so let's get used to it anyway. I thought it was a great night. The Hank Aaron tribute, what they did on the field with the visuals, and then they had a firework that looked like a baseball getting shot over to right field or whatever. That was amazing.
Is it weird to wonder, baseball, I think, is having a nice little, not resurgence, but a good little boost, right? They've made a lot of good, smart decisions multiple times in a row, whether it be the small things like ABS in the All-Star game or going back to the team jerseys in the All-Star game or going back to all the things that they've done, like shortening the games and the pitch clock and the stuff that has really worked for baseball. And then I just can't help but fear in 2 years or a year and a half or whatever, we're getting a lockout anyway, and they're going to undo the good that they've done. And I don't want to make it all about that because, again, last night was a success. I don't watch the All-Star game every year. I didn't watch every second of the All-Star game last night. Royals players got in and became more interested. I had briefly started to tune out around that 8th inning when it's 6-3, and you're like, whatever. I'm not going to watch all the way to the end of this All-Star game. Gets close, find out or remember that it's going to be a swing-off for the All-Star Derby, immediately intrigued back into there. Had that game just gone to extras, Gold, I'm just telling you right now, it was not on the TV in the 8th inning, and it was on the TV in the 9th so I could watch Maikel Garcia and Bobby Wood Jr. Then I was like, okay. It wouldn't have been back on if it wasn't for Bobby Wood Jr. up to the plate or when I found out about the swing-off. My only thing is I do not, and I get it, if you're an All-Star, normally, in the entire baseball season, it's the longest stretch of off days you will get at any point. You got to travel. You're on the road. It's a tough life sometimes. I'm not pretending it's not. and you'd get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off. That's a big chunk of time in the middle of a baseball season to enjoy time with your family or any other hobby you have or enjoyment or any of those things. And if you go to the All-Star game, you don't get Monday or Tuesday. You only get the Wednesday or Thursday, the Wednesday and Thursday, so it shortens it significantly. That's the benefit of having a good season. You're an All-Star. You can stay for 2 hours and not put on street clothes and already be on a plane to wherever.
Yeah,
Because
I get both sides
What do you
of it.
accomplish?
Somebody on the text line mentioned that Scooble showered and was in regular clothes and was still hanging around. You know?
Some of them chose. Some of them chose to stick around, and that was their own decision to do that. I think if you say, "Hey, it's a requirement that you can't leave," then the only danger you have there is there might be some players that say, "Well, then I guess I just won't participate," because we already see that happen. I would still rather have Aaron Judge in the All-Star game if you tell me he feels like he needs to leave by the 4th inning. You can call it disrespectful, whatever we all want, but I would still rather have Aaron Judge participate, and if I'm baseball, participate, than be like, well, if you're not here for all 9 innings, we don't want you here anyway. That'd be a bad thing.
Can you give them an extra day? Like, add it on to break. Like, instead of coming back on Friday, hey, everybody's got to be back, for games on Saturday. Because I don't know how.
I mean, then you're pushing the season back.
For hockey in particular, I think I don't remember how long hockey's All-Star break was, but it seemed like for the Four Nations face-off, it seemed like that took a whole week to do, where if you weren't in it, you got a fully extended break that was even longer, where they still wanted to give some time for the guys involved in the Four Nations face-off, some 3-4 days to relax a little bit.
I'm not saying it doesn't stink. Look, I didn't have to travel, but I did cover a baseball team for an entire year in which I covered 161 of 162 of the games. And including spring training, you ended up working, it was roughly like 185 days of like 195 days. Okay? So like you worked every day. Like that includes weekends, everything. You worked just every day, all the time, nonstop, never ends. Some of this is like, so it's beyond just like me saying it's a teacher schedule. But at the end of that, half of the teams in baseball will get October off. Everyone will get November, December, and January off. And then eventually, yes, in February, halfway through February, you will have to show up for spring training. You're a professional athlete. The schedule's more grueling and demanding than someone of a normal job. They compensate you very handsomely for that. I understand the All-Star game is an option, but I just think if you choose, I don't think you'd lose that many people by saying you got to stay the whole time. I'm sorry you got to stay 2 more hours. You might drop 1 or 2 more, but I don't think it's going to be that everybody who left early, let's say it was 20 players. I don't know how many it was. Let's say the 20 players who left early, I don't think 15 of those are saying no thanks. I think it might be 2 more.
Right, but the argument people are having is not that like everybody left. It's that the 2 players they wanted to see in it left. So you're saying that it might only be 1 or 2 players, but if that 1 or 2 players are Judge and Ohtani, then it's the same thing. Yeah, I don't know the full logic that Aaron Boone went with the Rays player. The only thing I can come up with is a couple things. One, some players had left. Aaron Boone and just like Dave Roberts on the NL side, they map out the entire game. They know roughly when they're going to put Bobby Witt Jr. in the game. Yeah. They map it out so everybody gets an opportunity, best chance they can. And the Aranda guy for the Rays, he was one of only 2 players that I think only got 1 at-bat. Like, Bobby got 2 at-bats. Even the reserves got 2 at-bats. He only got 1. My only thing I can think of is when they planned it out earlier in the day or the day before, they said, all right, well, he may not even, like, we don't know. We're probably not going to get to the swing-off thing anyway. We don't know if he's going to get an at-bat or more than 1. Let's let him have this opportunity. We know he'll be around because he didn't get in the game late. Pete Alonso was there because he also, for a second, was about to win MVP. Until Kyle Schwarber stole it with the 3 home runs of the swing-off, and he ended up winning the All-Star Game MVP.
So Cody, so people are mad. People texted you earlier about this, too. They said it's an exhibition. But to me, it is an exhibition. However,
it's the exhibition.
The All-Star game, I think,
game.
it's a celebration of the best players in the sport. And and if you're there to just do your thing, pitch your inning, and then dip, you're not being a part of the like. It's like it's like a birthday party or something for everybody, where you're just like, yeah, I'm here. I wanted to show my face, and I'm dipping after 10 minutes.
I'm not here.
That's what these guys are doing.
I'm not pretending like this is the end of the world.
That way.
It's the first time we've owned. I know you're not. Yeah. It's also the first time we've had a swing off. So maybe seeing how cool it was, maybe it will change some players' mind. My guess also is Ohtani and Judge, other than family, they probably never thought the swing off was happening. They also knew they weren't the contestants for it because they were told before the game they weren't. So then, other than, hey, just to be a cool guy, in their mind, probably like, yeah, what am I sitting around here for?
I don't know, just to support fellow All-Stars in the league. It just
it feels like part of the celebration of everything.
It just feels like a small concession. To your point, right? Like they're trying to get back to the break. It's like, okay, so you left at 8:30 to get on your plane. If you'd gotten on at 10:30, did you get to an extra dinner? Did you get to an extra
Why not
thing?
just give him an extra day?
Did you
Well, maybe you got to be there this morning when your kids wake up versus not being there in the morning. I mean, seriously, there's stuff like that does matter, man. You've got kids.
I fluctuate all those things, and those things are very important to me. Like, for instance, we're going to Las Vegas. We're going to Circa Resort, right? We're going to be there for contest weekend. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome time. Come out and see us, by the way, as we'll be out there at Circa in August. August 20? Now I got to look at the dates.
We will be there the 20th through the 23rd, yeah.
And so when we start looking at that, I'm flying back Saturday morning so that I have more time with the kids in that day. I'm saying I don't think that 2 hours is the difference between you getting home and not getting home if you're a Major League Baseball player. It might be for you or me. I think that flight's getting you anyway, right? I don't.
Well, in fairness, it was the game was in Atlanta. If you got to the airport at 9:00 at night versus 11:30, that's a huge difference for getting home.
But not to wake up with your kids in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Not for the thing not to put your kids to sleep, not to get dinner.
This is the only sport though that this
happens. It's not a huge deal. I just make the concession.
I know you're not like losing sleep over it. I know.
No.
I don't have I can understand some of the arguments. In general, it's an exhibition game. Last night was a blast. I'm not going to let the fact that it was Aranda in it instead of Judge make it seem like it was a bad night. No, it was a great night for baseball. It really was.
I wasn't expecting to like it, but people hitting homers is always fun.
Sure.
For the same reason I said the home run derby. It's a foolproof system. Watch person, slug ball over the fence is entertaining for all of us.
For Schwarber to go 3 for 3 too was pretty sweet.
That was very cool. Schwarber, the one going down to his falling down to the one leg.
Someone had a picture. So there was a picture of it there was a picture from a field angle, and someone said, "Hang it in the Louvre." It was.
Did you have any problem with him getting the MVP, even though the only thing he did was swing the bat?
No, I think it was obvious. It should have been him at that moment. He won the game for them. He won the game for them. You know what I mean? If it would have been a ninth,
it's an exhibition. Then it really shouldn't matter.
If it was the ninth inning and it was the bottom of the ninth, and he had a hit there, he would have hit a home run to win it. We would have all said, "Yeah, walk off home run. He should be the MVP."
What do you win?
I think he gets a little chunk.
Right?
Is it $100K?
I think. Yeah. Is it? I don't know if it's Chevy or whoever they're with now. Yeah.
That's the only argument. What do you get for being All-Star Game MVP? I didn't believe it or not. I did not.
Looks like it is a glass bat along with a car truck with Chevy.
Oh, nice.
Car's the way to go.
He's just gonna sell it, right?
Haas give his to or his
dad?
Yeah.
Are you able to technically sell it? It's like when you win a car. It's like when you win a car on The Price is Right. You can't technically just.
Yes, I can.
Flip
sure
it. Can
you
you?
can.
It's my car. I can sell it.
Yeah. Now you might have to pay the property tax up front and then sell it. But you can sell it. Now you're responsible for the taxes on it still from the winnings.
I thought there might have been a stipulation where it's like you won this and you're.
Ask Dana Wright. She won on The Price is Right one time.
She did. She ended up selling.
Did you know that?
She did not keep
what?
Yeah.
The Price. If I could be on one game show, the Price is Right is it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she won it. She won like a Beetle or something, like a one of those Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh yeah.
Whatever it is,
like a Mini Cooper. You're saying?
I don't remember exactly.
She won a vehicle, but she didn't keep it because again, you got to pay a chunk of change on that thing up front. And she was explaining to us that you're forced to pay for it right there.
Give us a car
right now. Give us $10,000 now.
That's insane.
Make it happen.
That is probably the wildest part about it. It'd be like, I'd like for everything you owe, pay up, sucker. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I just found out. Now look, some of the cash.
And then, by the way, the winning
cash,
team, the prize pool for the winning team is like $640,000 or something.
Hey, there you go.
I don't know how up to date the dollar amount is, but that was at one point in time when it's like if you're that swing off led to some extra money there for the NL side.
Yeah, it did. They do give them a little bit. That's the other part. They're paying you $100,000. You can't even just work the whole day? Taking a little nooner? It's small, but I just feel like for the All-Star game, it should be all the players lined up in the dugout watching them hit homers.
So this is their best friend's uncle won a Dodgers. They must mean Dodge.
A Dodge Viper? Oh,
it's a Dodgers. They're just talking, but a Dodge Viper on The Price is Right and sold it.
That used to be my dream car.
Really? The Viper?
Dodge Viper?
That was your car, huh?
You used to have that thing in like Need for Speed or a Midnight Club.
Oh, is that why you liked it?
You would put the spoiler on it? Oh, yeah. Dodge Viper.
Do they make those anymore?
I don't even think Dodge makes any car other than the Charger now because the Challenger's done.
I don't think they make Vipers anymore.
I don't know if they make... Oh, Vipers, no. I think the only car they make is the Charger now.
They make the Hornet and the Durango, looks like.
Oh, the Durango as well, yeah.
And then obviously Ram, which is part of Dodge.
You don't give them any kind of credit. They got all kinds of
They
credit.
got Ram. Dodge Ram is under the Dodge
I know
Ram.
they got rid of the Challenger, but let's be honest. When we're thinking of Dodge, I think Charger's the first one in Challenger. They don't make the nobody's thinking of the Hornet.
Fine.
Dang.
I'll drive a Hornet. That's fun. I'll take it. Training camp. I'll take a Hornet.
Yeah.
Drive up to St. Joe, please.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you.
You guys will drive like the Bumblebee yellow color.
I'll drive any
Hornet?
color. Are you kidding me?
I feel like if it's going to be called if it's called the Hornet, I feel like it's got to be yellow.
Black and yellow?
Fair enough.
Hey, but in order to get the car, you have to listen to Black and Yellow the entire way
Wiz
up there and
Khalifa?
back.
Fine. Done.
You know what it is?
Deal.
Straight hours.
Black
of
and
nothing
yellow,
but,
black and yellow.
oh, dude, by the end of it, you'd be going crazy. You'd be like,
You
in a
hate
box.
Wiz Khalifa almost, yeah.
I really appreciate that he was smart enough to do that, and it's just like every single team adopted that as their song because they used to play that at UMKC games all the time when I was doing like student
Oh
broadcast.
yeah,
and it would
that
just say
song
blue and
alone
yellow.
made him a ridiculous amount of money.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Oh, we got Viper. Last year was 2016. Okay.
Cody, to give you somebody else on the text line had a comp for the Cam Devaney trade. He was the exact same age as Brent Rooker when we foolishly cast him aside from the 620.
Yeah, we've already talked about
I wanted to throw that one
We've
out
already
there for
talked
you
about
boys.
that comp, the 1% of the 1% outlier. Yes, that is true.
If that is your logic, like if this is legitimately your logic, then your only stance on this should be to only take quarterbacks in the 6th round because that's where Tom Brady was taken.
Honestly, you want to know the funniest reaction? This
That should be your
proves
genuine opinion on drafting quarterbacks.
ultimately, I don't think this is a trade any of us are going to ever remember. For starters, Frasier.
I'll never
for
forget it.
But because of this, but like actually remember
Yes.
for a true baseball reason, is in Pittsburgh they're mad about the return they got for Adam Frasier. If that tells you something as well. So like neither fan base likes the trade. Both are delusional at times with this trade. I would argue like the fact that nobody's saying Adam Frasier is great. But we also need to act. We don't need to act like Cam Devaney is a top 30 prospect in baseball because guess what? He's not even a top 30 prospect in the Royals system. That's all I'm saying. Adam Frasier, nobody's acting like he's going to come in here and suddenly everything is going to be fixed. Cody compared it to what? So
I just said it's cheaters mentality.
The College Football National Championship trophy.
I think it's just somebody.
Not to mention it's the same.
No,
I don't feel no.
Yes, there are examples of players who are 28 years old who eventually become good big league players. Would you like the 8 million example? So, like, can I just reverse this for a second?
Please do.
Let's say about a month ago.
Careful.
Let's say about a month ago, instead of John Rave coming up, Cam Devaney did.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And during that time, Cam Devaney did what John Rave is currently doing, hitting 170, 260 on base.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like not really doing much. But he's in the lineup most days. Whatever. He exists in your lineup, but you're not moved one way or the other. He's not getting a lot of hits. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And John Rave had continued what had been a nice, successful outing in AAA and continued those numbers. Would you have been as mad that it was John Rave? Because I think it's the unknown that's
I think that people would have the same reaction. People would have had the same reaction.
You've now seen John Rave be a 27-year-old who had never gotten up to the big leagues and had not been given a chance to be a big league player, come up to the big leagues and struggle mightily. I would still tell you it's too small of a sample size on John Rave to know whether or not he's going to be a good or bad baseball player, but that the history of baseball would tell you he's probably not going to be very good.
Yeah, the reaction would have been the same. I would also say the reaction would have been a little different if the Royals, and maybe it is just people are hung up on Cam Devaney, I don't know, but if it wasn't Adam Frasier, if I told you it was a different 33-year-old infield/utility player that was hitting the exact same this year, which, by the way, his numbers are better than last year. Not that I'm saying he's good, but
infield's also more crowded, by the way, for Cam Devaney versus the outfield.
Do you think people would have had the same reaction? Let's say the guy's name was Brian Smith, but exact same numbers, and had never played for the Royals before.
Better.
That's okay.
Still not well, because obviously part of this is the Cam Devaney part. But.
Yeah, that I think that is part of the equation here as well. Now, if you want to actually feel not better, but also just recognize why the offense is struggling. Adam Frasier, you know where he ranks with the Royals right now? In multiple categories.
On base percentage, 5th.
On OPS, 6th. Slug, 9th. Home runs, he'd be tied for 7th. OPS plus 7th. And then we get into F4 and stuff. But he'd be a top 7 player in multiple offensive categories for the Royals. Won't be. He is. He is. He's on the team now.
If your argument is he's unlikely to improve the offense, I'm not even here to argue that. That's what I thought we'd all just say, like, okay, it just kind of didn't move the needle one way or the other. But Cam Devaney was unlikely to help the offense too. That's
right. This is
different guy's a defensive
than
player and a good clubhouse guy and all this other stuff.
This is not. So if someone mentions like, well, he's just a rental. This is not like I've told you. I do not want them trading for rental. This doesn't even count, guys. It's not even. I don't want them trading legit players for Eugenio Suarez or Ryan O'Hearn or Cedric Mullins. They gave away a guy that's legit, and truly, he's not even a top 30 prospect in their own system, let alone top 100 in baseball. Like that's why it's different. I don't want them trading for rentals either. I don't want them giving up like legit prospects for rentals either. This is just it's just a trade that's not going to freaking matter. What it is, okay? Let's move on. All right. Up next.
Let's just do the last 90 minutes. We'll just take calls.
Greg Sankey, SEC commissioner, had some comments. We'll get to those. We'll also get to a random question of the day right here on Cody and Gold.
Watch Cody and Gold on YouTube by subscribing to the 96.5 YouTube channel. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Guys, I get it. You've just been sitting around. You've been feeling tired. Look, sometimes you can't focus or that energy. It's not living. It affects all aspects of your life, and it could be low testosterone. Picture this. You can get your life back with testosterone therapy by the Low T Center. The test is free, but time is running out. There's never been a better time to find out your T level. Just visit Low T Center to take the test. Fast results. Available right there, about 15 minutes. They have their experts ready to help you. And right now, the test is, again, free, but time is running out, so don't miss your chance. Most major insurance is accepted, so treatment costs are minimal, and taking control of your health is now easier, so why continue to wait? At Low T Center, they give you the power to control your own health with custom-dosed TRT. Then you have the freedom to choose between white glove, in-care, medical monitored treatment, or testosterone delivered directly to your home. You can take a look at all of that by booking your appointment now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Jefferson's Wings, Burgers, Oysters, located in Lenexa and North Kansas City, proud lunch partner of Cody and Gold.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with confidence with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors. Like ones that inspire a sense of wonder. Or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter. Or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for a new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Get ready for the drive to training camp, boys.
Yeah.
You got to drive it, but you got to listen to this.
That's fine. That's a deal. That's a deal.
You know what it is.
It'd be so crazy to just listen to just that and only that.
Over and over for 11. Actually, it's more than 11 because it's there and back. So
yeah.
Whew. That's
22 trips.
That's a lot of.
You might get a rain out. Might get down to 20.
Black and yellow over and over and over and over and over. Oh my gosh.
You would hate that song.
Yeah.
Hate it.
I mean, I got sick of that song a long time ago anyway.
Yeah, it was a stadium. It was like the modern stadium anthem there for a while, right?
Definitely.
Like when they decided to stop playing some like 80s and 90s rock, that song had a moment for probably like a decade straight.
College campuses too. Oh yeah, it had a clutch on.
It got it got
the
played.
hype songs. Oh yeah,
it got played for a while. We have maybe just got to, like, we're in our own head at this point about the Frasier.
No, we're done. We're done, Cody. Stop.
We're out?
We're done talking about today. We spent way too much time on it today. I'm done.
People want to talk about it.
People know where we stand on it. It's over.
There's going to be a clip
done.
on social media later that has you going on a little bit of a rant, Cody. The rant that you went on earlier.
Which one?
So much so that you said, you know what? I love this trade.
Oh, I stand by that.
Yes.
I'm now in favor of this trade. It is a vibes trade.
You
it is
love
for the
it. You think it's your favorite trade of the year, you said.
It's the only trade they made this year, I think.
I thought you were just.
Isn't it weird? Can I just say one more thing?
No.
Isn't it weird that we've chosen to lose our minds over Cam Devaney in a year where old AAA players, Lofton, Waters, like haven't succeeded? Is this the year you want to do it? Where the Royals 4A players, you think they're going to turn it around? They've called up like 4 this year. It hasn't worked yet.
It is because people watched Brent Rooker last night.
You think
the All-Star game?
Brent Rooker is very good. I would be interested in him back here. Come on back, Brent. I like him better than having O'Hearn back.
Tomorrow, Cody will have a list of the 5 guys he wishes were back in Kansas City.
As former Royals? Oh, man. Zach Greinke won.
No, we're done. We're done talking.
You don't have any other former Royals you want? Zach Greinke won.
Okay.
Just because I want him to get his 15 strikeouts. Gold is not anti. It just depends. You know what's funny? Sometimes we have our opinions go opposite in the other sport. I very rarely want former Chiefs back. Gold is a little more willing to bring back a former Chief. And then I don't know if I want former Royals back, but probably more than you do, probably. Historically. Yeah,
I mean, it's not even you're not even that much with the Chiefs usually. Like to me, if it's the same regime, once that player has moved on, it's kind of over. Yeah. I know the Chiefs have obviously brought back McCole Hardman and stuff, but I think once that ship sails, it's kind of done.
Coach just got a look on his face of disgust as this
I'm just done talking about it. And I honestly just a blip on the radar trade. So that's all.
Sean Manaea? Is that how I'm supposed to? What are my answers?
He's had a very nice career.
My five former Royals to come back. Well, technically, does Manaea even count as a former Royal if he was traded before he even played a game for the Royals?
I mean, Cam Devaney almost really didn't play for the Royals.
No, yes. I don't know.
Did he play for the Royals? This is like if a tree
fell
and was
He didn't have an at-bat. He didn't have an at-bat. Anyway. But he could have hit a home run in that at-bat, Cody, and then he'd be an Hall of Famer. So
would have hit 15 home runs in those at-bats.
Yeah.
15 in a row. Mm-hmm. Let's talk some college football.
Please.
Drew has been keeping a very close eye on the SEC media days for us. And there seems to be one overwhelming theme for me, Drew. And that is that Greg Sankey is an ass and thinks that they should control all of college football to a breaking point. I wonder if it's just very simply that. He wants to know exactly how far the line is going. In this SEC, I have heard him say, we decide, not everybody else. So whatever the Big Ten and the SEC decide, that's it. You guys don't get a say in this. He has said, I don't think we need anybody but the Power Four. Everyone else is irrelevant. And then hinted at the possibility of separating himself from the NCAA as it results from that. And then has made a bunch of other braggadocious comments outside of it. Does it just seem like he's just trying to find exactly where the boundary is or how far they'll let him take it? Or does he not have a boundary and he'll take it as far as he feels?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's in the strongest position of any.
I can't argue that.
You know what I mean? That's the thing. I mean, Greg Sankey, say what you will, he's in a position of power and leverage. He's in the best conference in the country. He just is. They have the biggest TV deal in the country. They obviously have the track record of success. And because of that, he can get away with saying a lot of things because the pushback, like what's going to really happen to him? He's made these schools a ton of money. He has grown the conference. They're stronger than they've ever been. He's poached schools. Like, he's done his job. We may not like him, but he has done his job very, very well. Now, we can all take issue with, for the greater good of college football, he has hurt it. No dispute there.
Agreed.
No dispute there.
He's helped his conference, but it's like, your conference is going to be better if college football's healthier.
I agree, but they're short-sighted with that. They're not worried about 20 years from now. They're worried about right this second, how much money can they get?
That's where it's hard to... Like, for people who want to be critical of Brett Yormark, and we obviously haven't been, but people who want to be critical of Greg Sankey or Tony Petitti with the Big Ten, the way that they talk about stuff is obviously to support the conference. So it's hard to, because I think we all feel the way that you kind of do, Cody, and what you're saying, but also recognize he kind of has to be this person where he...
Does he?
Greg Sankey has to be the person of, look at my conference, look at what we've done. We're the big dogs. We're going to flex our muscle. Nobody else. I don't think anybody.
It doesn't feel like he does that. It feels like he spends more time calling the other conference losers.
I think that also is a fair take if it were. I mean, he talked about Brett Yormark mentioning the doubling down part where, look, I think Brett Yormark, what he's doing is more respectable where you're the SEC. You're trying to make sure you have a leg up on everybody where Brett Yormark's like, look, we might be one of the three we might be third or fourth behind you guys, but we want to show it on the field that we can compete with you guys as Arizona State almost beat Texas last year. You know, I think there's a lot more respect for Brett Yormark and puffing out his chest and saying, look, let's see it on the field. You know, you guys talk about how you're the best conference. Let's see how it plays out. Let's do the 5+11 model. We're going to get a couple teams in, and we're going to see if we can beat you guys on the field and not recruiting money, whatever it is. We're going to try to show it on the field. And now, of course, Texas Tech is spending a lot of money, and people are losing their minds saying that it's unfair and everything like that, where Texas Tech is doing the same thing that Texas is doing, that Tennessee's doing, that Auburn's doing, or whatever the case is.
I guess, like, and I I understand, like, I'm doing it for the health of the conference, but it can't be so individualistic when you're talking about.
Well, you're demeaning others, you're saying?
Well, and like somebody said, hey, it's more like the big three, power three, honestly. Yeah, and that's the problem, is that we solely shrink. How long until, if you just let them do whatever they want, and some of this is because if you lived in the Big 12 area long enough, you actually saw this. If you just let them run you over, if you just let Texas and Oklahoma do whatever they want, they're not staying around forever. Still going to leave your ass. They're still going to take advantage of it.
They did, yeah.
They didn't stick around. Yeah. They're still going to ditch you eventually. So if you just let the SEC and the Big Ten do whatever the hell they want now, they're going to leave your ass eventually too, and it'll be the Big Two. Like, how long do you think they're going to just, like, let you play football with them until they're tired and sick of playing with you? You can't just let them run show forever.
The one thing I think that he said that's very, not necessarily disrespectful, but he said, I don't think any other team in any other conference would want to switch schedules with an SEC team. And this is no shot at Missouri, I promise. Missouri does not have a road game until week 8 of the season. Their 4 hardest games, 3 of them are at home. I don't think they play the exact same conference opponents as they did last year, and everybody thought the Missouri schedule was easier. I think there are multiple teams, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, that would probably rather have Missouri's schedule in terms of how it lines up with bye weeks, not having a road game until week 8.
Their fans, a lot of their fans are upset that their home schedule is front loaded.
Yeah,
they wanted it more backloaded.
I think that's fair, but look, the toughest game that you have on the road is Oklahoma. You can go to Auburn and you're playing Auburn on the road. I get that you want to be at home and it's fine, but I don't think Missouri fans should be complaining because they have, I think, is just as good of a chance to make the playoff as maybe they did last year just because of how things line up for them. Missouri could be 8-0 or 7-0.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a chance that it could be 6-0 through 6 games, 7-0 through, and they could be in a prime position to be where they're at, to be where they want to be at.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with the sense that, but it's just, it all goes back to the same thing. And you got it, the health of the sport has to matter. And this is the problem where college football is, because they relate to the professional sports game. They are now a professional sport, the same as the NFL, Major League Baseball, and all these other things. But they do nothing collectively yet. They are 4, 5, 10 individual things, doing individual things, operating independently in every conceivable fashion. They're too big to be that independent. It doesn't have to be the NCAA, but they do need collective bargaining in order to equalize and stabilize some of this. But the SEC is so greedy, they don't want that.
Oh, and even
they don't want the equalization. They think it's bad for them.
One of the things that Kirby Smart said yesterday was he was asked what he thinks would help fix college football more than what it is, and he said contract stipulations in terms of more strictness regarding contracts, in terms of players sticking around to be longer because when they commit to a school, the contract for 2 years actually is pretty much 2 years because they aren't going to want to pay the money back. The schools who are getting them in the transfer portal are not going to want to pay the other schools the money. So there's more contract stipulations. I think that's something that's interesting. But that's where I think the College Sports Commission that was founded, this is going to be the ultimate test here. Whether it's this year, it's probably going to be after this season going into next season. Are they actually as strict as they say they're going to be? Because if they are,
I don't buy it. Yeah.
If they are as strict as what they say they're going to be, I think that really makes a difference in terms of the transfer portal stuff and how the negotiations are with high school players and how everything looks. There's a sense of control that they're pitching. We'll see if it's going to be that way. I don't think there's any way to say yes or no now. We have to wait for another year or two to really see if it's working.
I'll be shocked, though.
I would also be surprised.
I'll be shocked if it works. I think a lot of schools are going to say, okay, sure.
I hope it works out.
Yeah, we're going to follow you. And then behind closed doors, forget these guys. They're not going to be able to do anything anyway and move on. I feel like that's going to be the vibe of it. Publicly, they're going to say, we value what they're saying. And, we're going to follow what they're telling us kind of to do kind of thing. And I just don't don't think they're going to buy it.
Yeah, I don't think they have to turn into NFL junior either. I don't think we have to do a high school player draft now.
No, okay,
and some 18-year-old is forced to go to college somewhere he doesn't want to go.
Stupid.
That would be wild.
Could you imagine?
That would be so
if just
stupid.
Arch Manning gets drafted to Texas.
Versus
drafted
high
to
school mock
Ohio.
drafts. Oh my lord!
Somebody on the text line says Mizzou, OU, Texas, and A&M left for the SEC. There's a reason why Money and the Big 12 are not getting a TV deal. Well, the Big 12 has partnerships within TV, Turner Sports, ESPN, but neither here nor there. Missouri,
well, the dollar amount, though. They're talking about the dollar. I mean, the dollar amount. The TV deal the Big 12 has is minuscule compared to the SEC.
See, to me, this is where I think, to your point, Cody, not that it's hard to respect, but Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, and A&M, they're in a better spot for their future, and that's great for them. They took more money. However, if you look at not Texas, they're an outlier, but even Oklahoma in a way, but particularly Missouri and Texas A&M, they basically chose more money and a more secure future, which again is great for them.
I can't blame them for doing it.
It's fantastic. Cannot blame them. They sacrificed their ability to contend for conference championships, though, while also doing it. Because if Missouri was in the Big 12, they would have been favored last year to win the conference and make the playoff.
But they
would have been favored this year probably to do it.
But would they have upgraded the facilities the same way? Would they have had the same talent? You know, all that kind of stuff.
That also is, you know, they gave up potential to win a conference and make the playoff to have a more secure future and build the facilities up and all those other things.
But
so
now that NIL is up and
take.
running and it's pay for play, let's stabilize. You know, let's just stabilize the conference.
Random question.
The random question today brought to you by Kansas City Urology Care at KCUC. Remember, you see the best in KC. Visit kcurology.com today. For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. Of course, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Live stream the show. Like and subscribe over on YouTube or on Twitch, and then you'll get those things at the top of your feed. That way you don't miss anything going on over here on the show. Question I have today is about this is more barstool debatey. I think you do either friends or family, I think more often than not, and came up in a conversation my wife and I had the other day. The question I have for you today is, what is something you swear by in your home or lifestyle that you don't think everyone would subscribe to? Now, it sounds vague, but I'm going to give you my example so that you can maybe stick to it. I swear to you, no matter how much. So buy ice cream or something for the house. An ice cream scoop is a useless utensil, and the spoon is simply better. I will swear up and down that if you're just getting ice cream in a bowl, using an ice cream scoop is a slower waste of time, especially for a utensil that does not get used but for anything but the one thing. You are better off, just as long as you don't have flimsy, cheap-ass spoons.
I would say the spoon bends.
Buy better spoons.
All right.
I had cheap spoons as a kid, too.
I would say,
the spoon does not bend in my household. I have a good spoon.
I do not own an ice cream scoop. And
so how do you get ice cream out?
With a giant spoon.
Yeah, so you're with me?
With a giant spoon. That's what I use.
But let's say you get married, you guys are in a house together.
But also I live alone.
There's a scoop.
But also
would you use a scoop?
But also I live alone, and so if I get ice cream, I just buy a pint and I just eat out of the pint. It's just me.
Yeah,
so I can just do that with a spoon.
I guess
I'm not dishing it out for other people.
I'm surprised that you are on the same page as me. I'm a little surprised. I think this might be a childhood thing. As in, we didn't own an ice cream scoop as a kid, so in order to get ice cream, we just used the spoon. And so I never adopted the scoop model. Silly.
These texts are great.
Someone says, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Someone says, I shower every morning and night, every day, 365 days a year. There's definitely people you've gotten an argument about that. I guarantee you, somewhere along the way, that guy's... I would imagine a significant idea. You got to do this twice a day, every day. This is crazy.
Now, do you do that?
That is a lot.
If it's really frozen, do you do the hot water thing with the spoon or whatever to try to get it to melt?
Let it sit out for a minute.
You just let it sit. But you know what I'm talking about.
I'm just telling you right now, you don't need the hot water trick nearly as much with the spoon than the scoop. The scoop is much worse at dealing with the
But Drew's bending the spoon.
Yeah, I'm bending.
Get better spoons.
No.
I'll pay for them, Drew. Let's get some better spoons in your world.
I bought a scoop for this exact reason, actually, and it's great.
Because if the ice cream is really, really frozen, it is true. That spoon's bending. I don't care what kind of quality spoon you got, Cody.
So here's another example. My wife will not use a pizza cutter, only uses kitchen scissors or a knife to cut the pizza. I've seen people use scissors to cut
knife?
the pizza.
You're out here cutting your ice cream with a knife?
Probably like a big knife in the middle. That would drive me crazy.
That's insane.
You're taking scissors. I've seen scissors. I've seen people cut pizza with
scissors.
I've seen. Do you guys have a pair of kitchen scissors?
Yeah, but like you're cutting the
kitchen specific scissors.
You're cutting the ice cream?
Not ice cream, pizza.
Still,
this one's pizza.
Okay, I was very confused for a second.
Ice cream makes
You're
no
trying to
sense.
explain cutting ice cream. I was like, how is this happening, Cody? You're acting like this is okay.
No, cutting pizza.
I was like, what are we doing?
That one's for cutting pizza.
It's so much easier to use it's so much harder to use a knife or a scissor. Just use the pizza cutter. It's so much easier.
I've taken just like if I get let's say it's a frozen pizza, like Tombstone or whatever, I'll just get a giant, like one of those giant knives, and I'll just do like,
just chop down sometimes rather than
chop down, and I just do that.
Much more efficient pool. So you're kind of in that every time.
It's just me. I don't own a pizza cutter.
You don't own a pizza cutter?
No, it's just me.
You can get one from the dollar
This is
store.
exactly why I brought this question.
I just use a big knife and I slice. I cut into 4 big pieces basically, or 5 big pieces, and I'm good.
Some of these texts are killing me. Cody uses adamantium spoons in his house. Gold has actually seen my exact spoon at Nick Schwartz's wedding.
What type of spoons do you have?
If you guys don't recall, we were at Nick's wedding a couple months ago in California,
spoon. Good spoon,
and
man.
we're at the wedding, and only Cody makes a comment and said, great spoons. I'm like, okay. He's like, it's the same spoons that I have in my house.
Do I have the nicest spoons in the universe? Everyone says they're spoons. Are you guys all buying bad spoons?
Nobody else is paying as much attention to their spoons they buy is the problem.
That's
compared to you, maybe.
What?
I couldn't tell you what. You have your brand memorized.
Well, it was from Sur La Table. It's from... That's the store we buy.
There's a lot of people that just go to Target and buy whatever brand, go to Target.
Just
and
whatever,
just
Target brand spoons? Well, that's
yeah.
the problem.
It gets the job done. I'm still eating.
This is. I think this again stems from childhood. We had cheap spoons when we were kids. Where I was bending them back. They just look warped and weird. And so when I had a moment as an adult to buy a spoon that worked, I bought a good spoon.
What did you say the place was called?
Sur La Table is the name of the. That's not the brand of the spoon, but
Sur La Table. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's.
This is. You're not overpaying for spoons necessarily, but it's SUR space LA. And then table, but it's Tob.
Yeah.
You're pronouncing this like it's a foreign thing. You're spending too much time investing in your spoons. Just go to Target and get yourself a set.
No, this is actually true. This is because you're under 30. I'm just going to tell you right now.
Did you get yours through like a wedding registry? Is that what you ask people? That's how you get the nice. That's how you get the nicer stuff.
Yeah, right.
I'm not kidding. There are things in this world, Drew, and I hope you've come to realize this. There are things in this world
spoons
that are worth paying money for, and spoons is one of them. You're making a mistake with your bad spoons.
You're making a mistake.
You can get better spoons.
I promise you, I'm enjoying my ice cream just the same with the spoons that I have. I think it's okay.
Someone says when I cook pancakes for all the kids, I cut them with a pizza cutter. Makes the process so much easier. So they're using their pizza cutter for other things too.
Okay.
You do got to tear up a lot of food for kids. I use the pizza cutter to cut the pizza into like little tiny pieces for them too. Someone's trying to claim they use a circular saw for it. I don't think they're going that far.
This person is with you. They have 4 kids and are adamant about having quality silverware.
I mean, the scary part about kids is like
mine's just some Target. Mine's just some. I went to Target and I bought a nice little set of silverware. That's what I have.
Bowls do you have, Cody? Are the bowls nice that you put the ice cream in, or are they just?
Now, look, I will say, Drew.
Depends on the amount of ice cream I'm getting.
Yeah, like if you were getting married, let's say you were just now getting married and you do the wedding registry. Like I'd have some nice stuff on there from like Crate and Barrel or something like that.
Of course.
But I'm not going on my own and just buying that as a single guy.
Yeah.
But if you told me I had a wedding registry because I had just gotten married or about to get married, I'd have some nice stuff from like Crate and Barrel. But
I would buy them even if I didn't get married. I'll die with those spoons. I'll never have to buy another spoon for the rest of my life. You guys are out here buying Target spoons every three times a decade.
Oh no,
They're all bendy and terrible.
No. Sharp.
Beat up. Someone says, Cody, I'm 2 years older than you. I don't worry about spoons.
It is pretty wild that knowing the name brand of all the silverware you have and everything is kind of wild.
Yeah, it's a little weird. One of the things I know people have brought up on this one, too, I saw it over in the chat, was they, not the spoon stuff, is that they swear by only paper goods. They only use paper plates.
Oh, wow.
Plastic. I'm like, what?
I mean, I guess you have kids maybe initially. I don't know. That's a lot of
paper plates for every meal is crazy.
There was a time when we did that as well because
that's a bit much.
I didn't know the brand of my bowls, by the way. I didn't want to get into that with Drew. I bought them as a gift.
What brand of silverware would Adam Frasier be compared to Cam Devaney? Do you know? No, never mind. I'm just kidding.
You're the one
kidding.
I was going to say, be careful because you're the one that didn't want this.
Just kidding.
There was a time when we did paper plates.
Someone
and
says
spoons
maybe
and
that's
forks.
why you're single if you had better silverware.
No one can take you serious.
That's what it is, yeah.
They get over to Gold's house and they're like,
Wait, you don't have a pizza cutter?
I do think that you could have a girl over, and if you guys were eating pizza, you'd be like, you don't have a cutter? It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's fine, I guess.
As if that's a deal breaker. You know, he didn't have good enough silverware, it's insane.
But I think in both relationships, Gold has said this is something he seeks in a woman,
and
I think women sometimes seek in a man.
I don't know what he's about to say.
Which is like the idea of like, you've got your life together. I'm an adult. I do these things. I think that there would be some women who would come to Alex's house and be like, this dude is 35 and he doesn't even have a pizza
34,
cutter.
Thank you.
I was rounding it. It sounded better in the story.
There is,
and he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a cutter. It's just one thing.
I think.
I don't think every person would think that. I'm saying.
I'll be honest.
There's someone who'd be like, I don't know about this. I mean,
I
don't know about
think
some
parents.
No,
what do you mean you have a pizza cutter?
I think
I meant the girl, not the parents.
No, I'll be honest, Cody.
It's not coming up in
If there is a girl who goes out on a date with Gold or whatever the case is, a great time. It is a 10 out of 10. Everything's great, but the silverware was a 7 out of 10, and she's like, I don't know, man.
It's like not
having really good. But I think that's a crazy thing to be. To feel like you don't have your life together because you don't have quality silverware.
Well, what's the difference between that and like not having a bed frame? You know, the things that are obviously like online jokes, right? It's a bed. I can sleep on it. I can cut my pizza with a knife. Why do I need the thing? I'm not saying everyone. I'm not saying this is everyone.
I don't know. Yeah.
You got a top sheet, Gold? You got to have some other stuff to really.
Do you have a comforter? You know,
I do have a comforter.
Throw off the pizza cutter stuff.
The top sheet sometimes gets annoying for me. I'll be honest. Like I have one,
and
but
it's just, you have it, but you don't know what's on there.
Yeah,
okay.
the top sheet gets a little annoying, especially in the summertime. I don't need all these extra layers.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, do I have one? Yes. Is it on my bed currently? No.
Would it be on your bed if you knew someone was coming over?
Oh, I mean, the apartment would get cleaned up and everything. Yeah, for sure.
Top sheet it.
Yeah.
From the 913, Cody thinks Alex is dating Bizarro George Costanza.
You know, that's all. Jeez. That's my random question of the day.
Thank you.
Brought to you by KC Urology Care. Someone says deal breaker.
Someone says they don't use silverware. They use chopsticks. When my friends come over, they bring their own silverware.
Oh, for everything?
Hold on.
I'll use chopsticks if I'm eating sushi or
from the 816.
Wait, so you're saying that your friends invite you over for dinner and you bring your own silverware?
Or if their friends come over, they bring their own silverware because this person uses chopsticks.
If I went to your house and pulled out my own silverware,
if Cody had a jacket on and he just opened it up and he had silverware attached to it, spoons on the left, forks on the right,
that's so good.
I would be like, you're out of your mind. You show up to dinner with your wife, you come over and you're like, oh, here, honey, here's your spoon. And you just hand it to her out of your jacket. That's nuts. That would be nuts. Anyway, all right, let's get to the 1 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. We'll talk about Noah Cameron a little bit and his future in a Royals uniform, plus who's under the biggest spotlight for this Chiefs offense in 2025.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Well, baseball season is obviously in full swing. Trades are starting to happen. Some you like, some you don't like. And that means the summer heat is definitely here. And the guys over at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years. And they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle this scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today. That's 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830. And schedule your AC system tune-up for just $59. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Why are you still paying interest? Reiselman Nissan just dropped 0% APR for 60 months on new Rogues, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Or stretch it, 1.9% for 72 months. Or 84 months at just 3.49%. Need torque? Grab a new Frontier and get up to $6,000 in total rebates. And if you're leasing, you pay no sales tax at Reiselman Nissan. 0. These are real deals, but they won't last. Tap over to ReiselmanNissan.com. Reiselman Nissan. Every customer, every time.
Is your old garage door a real clunker? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards a new insulated door. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Cash in your old opener and entry door too. It's Cash for Clunkers, now at Overhead Door Company of Kansas City. Schedule your free estimate at overheaddoorkc.com or call 816-221-0072. And Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
You know, I couldn't stop talking about it to my family and friends. My knees are my trouble spot. But for me to tell them now that I'm doing so much better, they were amazed. And I've been amazed.
QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies. Yes, it is amazing how these non-surgical treatments deliver joint pain relief for patients like Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor.
Each week I just started noticing that I could sleep and not have pain. I could play pickleball. I could do a CrossFit exercise routine.
QC Kinetics revitalizes your joints so you can move again without the pain pills or invasive surgery.
You know, I'm 60 years old and I want to stay competitive as long as I can. And QC has allowed me to do that. They did me right and really made a difference in my life.
Book your free consultation with QC Kinetics today and experience the difference for yourself.
I like to go, move, move, move.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified pre-owned vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months, plus a $200 gas card with purchase. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Imagine buying your next car from one dealership.
With the support of many.
With everything you'll ever need.
When you buy from any of the Balderson Auto Group dealerships, you're getting the support from all of our dealerships.
Like our 100 service bays, collision, and detail centers.
And our free exclusive lifetime warranty. No other auto group gives you that.
From north, central, south, the Balderson Auto Group has you covered.
A family committed to
excellence, growth,
and harmony.
Go to bagkc.com.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has greenlighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Pro USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-444-8992. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Pro USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-444-8992. 800-444-8992. That's 800-444-8992.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Jefferson's Wings, Burgers, Oysters, located in Lenexa and North Kansas City, proud lunch partner of Cody Gold.
College days are back on the drive. Listen for K-State Day on Thursday, July 17th, starting at 2 o'clock on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Cody was asking if I wanted to see some of his silverware during the break. I said, no, I don't know why you have photos of your spoon and fork on your phone. That's a little weird, but here we are. 1 o'clock hour on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold.
I think it's good.
Cody Tapser Nixon.
No, that is a dad thing. Like, that's such a dad thing. It just is.
Which part? The silverware part?
Yes.
I only know the brand
and the showing the phone part, I guess, is why. Hey, I got a picture of my silverware. You got to check it out. Look what I just bought.
He's already seen pictures of it. He saw it in real life.
Having photos of silverware on your phone is pretty wild, unless you it's part of a wedding registry thing or something. I guess I don't know.
The only reason I know the brand of the bowls is because I gave them as a gift. We'd had these cereal bowls from some other thing, and they just it is they slowly broke.
Mm-hmm.
So of the 8, you were down to 5. You're like, oh, this ain't gonna work anymore. I gotta get new ones.
Yeah,
so I gave him.
That's going to be our new running thing during training camp. Anytime a Chiefs player comes on at the end. By the way, one last question: what kind of silverware do you have?
Does your spoon bend?
And they're going to be like, "What do you mean?" Your spoon. What kind of spoon?
Do you know the brand? Of
just a spoon. Just a spoon. I don't know.
Somebody mentioned we had a lot of interesting conversations today. We spent a lot of time on the Adam Frasier Cam Devaney trade.
Yes.
We talked only grams, in which we want to rent out grandmothers and grandpas, but in the United States.
Yeah, only grams.
We're talking about pizza and spoons and ice cream and stuff during the random question.
Yep, it's a Wednesday.
I had an interesting
All-Star week.
In fairness, it's not even I know people would love to just be like, oh, you guys are just wasting time because there's not a big sports thing happening. It's no, a lot of this came up naturally, and I would have had these conversations even if it was November. I stand by this conversation no matter when it is.
We'll get into some Chiefs football here in about 8 minutes or so, because we know the offensive bar is very high, as it should be, when you have the offensive personnel that they have, and we're trying to figure out, okay, well, if it's average again, who's getting the bulk of the blame to the point where eventually there could be some true changes. So we'll do that in a second. But we asked J.J. Piccolo yesterday about Noah Cameron, and everybody in the organization, everybody's acknowledged, they thought there was something there, but nobody thought he'd be pitching at this level. 12 outings, I believe we're at now, sub-3 ERA. Heck, Rookie of the Year wise, he's not going to win it. I'm not even saying he should be the favorite, but it's crazy. He's 85-1 to be AL Rookie of the Year right now. And because of that performance, as we look towards the deadline here in a couple of weeks at the end of the month, does that make you more willing to trade more than just a Seth Lugo or a Michael Lorenzen, assuming Lorenzen comes back and he's healthy?
If you're doing that, then I do think you are in sell mode. So it requires you getting to sell mode. And we talked earlier in the show, we can talk more about it here in a minute, how long of a shot that feels in my brain for the Royals to get to that point for what they deem selling look like. I think Lugo does not count as buying or selling. No matter who they trade for or if they sell Lugo, it feels like it's going to be a break even. And the Royals don't view that as selling because he's on an expiring contract and all this other stuff. Because we all assume he's going to opt out because his number suggested. Noah Cameron does present an interesting thing where I am less worried about giving up controllable pitchers because I do now think you can pencil Noah Cameron for the starting rotation for a couple of years. I'm there. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as he is now. That's kind of crazy. He's
probably a 4, maybe a 3.
Sure. I think it might be kind of similar to how we feel about Chris Bubich. If he's a 4 or a 3, when they're their best Gold, they pitch like a 2. They pitch like wow, this is a really good starting pitcher. Look at what we're getting out of this. And if that's the case, well then, I know Walker's under contract. I know Reagan's under contract. I know Noah Cameron's under contract. So if I understand the way the system works and that I can buy one guy below Noah Cameron and then ideally continue to develop, I am a little more willing to hear calls on Bubich. This might be more of an off-season conversation.
I don't want an in-season
I'm not
trade.
doing it now. I'm definitely not doing it now. And I'm not saying you have to do it.
No.
But Noah Cameron gives me a little more safety in you could move some pieces around, and you'd never move him because he's got too much control.
Right.
Way too much control.
It's a couple of things. The rest of the year we'll play this out, but I need to know for this offseason, what's the health of Cole Reagans? So let's hope he comes back in the middle of August and he's good to go and he pitches well to finish out the season. Makes you feel a lot more better about the situation for him in 2026. Okay, so let's say best case scenario, Cole Reagans gives you a couple good outings before the year's over, so you feel better about next year. All right, Reagans, Waka, back. Then you mentioned Noah Cameron. Let's say he continues to pitch even at what's called 85% of what he's doing now, 80% of what he's doing.
Which would still be very good.
Okay, so
sure.
then you feel good there. All right, that's 3 guys. Then you can, if you have those 3, then you could have a real conversation, depending on what else they do at the deadline this year, about, hey, could we get a legitimate bat or 2 for a Chris Bubich type in the offseason, despite how good he has pitched, versus giving him an extension because you say, all right, well, we've got 1, 2, 3. Do we have a good idea about Kyle Wright at that point, or Alec Marsh that could be a 4 or 5? Or do you find a veteran on a cheaper deal in the offseason that becomes your 5, kind of a Michael Lorenzen type of guy in the offseason? That would be my only way I'd be okay with going the Bubich path. I would need to know that Cole Reagans is healthy heading into next year. I would need to know that Noah Cameron continues to pitch well the rest of this year, even if it's not this level. That would make me feel better about willing to truly discuss a move in the offseason for moving Chris Bubich, which would bring back, I think, a nice return.
It does set them up. We talked about this year, like, oh boy, it's going to be hard to repeat last year. It's going to be hard to repeat the pitching staff from last year. They've been without their ace for, I would say, 80% of the season this year at this point with Cole Reagans. Pitching hasn't taken a step back, Gold. They have maintained that level. Noah Cameron does. If you just stick with the status quo, well, then they're going to be back to having a top 5 rotation again next year, which does add a different element to the trade deadline this year, where you and I said, hey, are you going after this because you don't want to waste this level of starting pitching? And J.J. Piccolo said, yes. It is important to us to capitalize on this year because you do not know how often your pitching will be this good. So many of the relievers are under contract. So many of the starters are under contract. If you want to roll back the pitching next year, presuming no major decline in ability for any of them, you're going to have one of the 5 to 7 best pitching staffs in baseball again next year. If it's Bubich and Waka, and Lugo's a tough one, obviously, although they could sign him to an extension. That doesn't get talked about much. They could just say, hey, opt in, and we'll add more money on the back end, and we'll get you to the total per year you want. And then that way, we each get a couple more years here, and it works. Then you can go out and find out the way that's when you do prospects for hitters. You start trading, you start thinking about what would it look like to move Blake Mitchell's. You start trying to decide down those ranges, and is there enough there in order to make
you have to decide also, Salvador Perez, they got the club option and everything. But in a year, even in 2027, you're thinking at that point in time, right, who's our catcher? So who do you believe at that point between Jensen and Blake Mitchell?
I mean, it's one of those two.
Who do you like? But organizationally, who do you believe it gives you the best path moving forward? Not only defensively, but obviously the bat.
The same.
I agree. One of them likely is not with the organization long term. I mean, I think that's kind of obvious at this point. I don't know which one. Okay,
Carter Jensen's in AAA.
I know he's now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that'll be the guy 2 years from now or a year from now.
Blake Mitchell's in AA.
I think that's. Remember, he had the broken hamate bone or whatever thing.
That's right.
So he got off to a slower start.
So he's a little behind major league ready. You buy yourself. You might be able to not make that decision for a little bit longer. But it's a player. It's a position of such value. You go back into the same thing where when they had MJ Melendez, they just won the outfield. And look, I can't answer that question. Only A-ball right now. High A. Okay. So he hasn't even made it to AA yet. So they got a little bit of time on those two. They don't necessarily have to be up at the same time. Carter Jensen could be the starting catcher next year if they didn't pick up the thing on him. And you could still be waiting for A-ball or AA and AAA on Blake Mitchell before making a call, either to trade him, to teach Carter Jensen or Blake Mitchell another position, or to make a trade for one of those positions in which, if they're both very good, you might be able to get the best thing. The problem is, with a guy like that, Carter Jensen or Blake Mitchell, because catching and really good catching prospects are so hard to find in baseball, you have to trade for a different player with control. Somebody else's outfielder, infielder. Like, you can't settle
I don't
for that. Can't be the rental year guy,
Blake Mitchell, Carter Jensen are not involved in the trade for a rental. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think they would operate that way either.
No, I agree with you. It just feels like that's one thing at least to keep in mind as it relates to Noah Cameron and those other guys and just kind of how we look at it.
I want some more 29-year-old, 28-year-old prospect trades. That's what I want for big league bats. I want a bunch of those. Keep hearing all the 28, 29-year-old prospects. You good with that?
Sure.
No? It could turn out to be a Hall of Famer, though.
Is there a Hall of Famer that's come up at 28 or just like a decent, solid major leaguer?
I'm just joking.
What percentage do you actually think it is of guys who get called up at 28 years old who who are better than Adam Frasier this year in their career. So 260 average, 320 on base, 680.
0.05 or something.
It's such a small percentage. But it's like you can remember all the ones. You remember Brent Rooker. You remember Whit Merrifield. You remember Mike Aviles. Those are all the names that people have brought up today. Those are just in the Royals organization. But you're just ignoring about all of the, like, there's on the current Royals roster who are not likely to have the careers of Adam Frasier. It's hard. It's hard to get to big leagues at that age and then turn it on. If Cam Devaney were 25, 26, I'd probably...
He could be Jose Bautista. He could be Edwin Encarnacion. He could be. Could be.
What age did they come up?
Like around the same. Late bloomers.
Yeah, they were. Encarnacion. Jose Bautista was also a member of the Royals briefly, wasn't he? Like a Royals organization?
I think so.
They're really bad at letting go of power hitters before they actually turn into something. Jose Bautista made his major league debut when he was 23. So, I mean, I guess we could call him a late bloomer if you wanted.
I'm just reading the tweets that I got today. They're good.
He was 23.
There's some good ones today.
We're trying to pretend like there's not a difference in 5 years in age of prospect.
There's a big difference.
Who was the other one? Now I want to look it up.
Edwin Encarnacion, I think is who they were saying.
Okay, time to go look up Edwin Encarnacion. Not one of the, come on, not Juan. Edwin Encarnacion made it when he was 22 years old. Okay, do they have a different example? Do they have an actual
Those
old
would
player?
not be late bloomers.
That would actually be getting to the big leagues early.
Those would not be late bloomers.
It's the opposite.
It's complete opposite. Anyway, wild day on the show today.
Okay, yeah.
One final thought I would just say. Reminder, today is July 16th. The trade deadline did not end 15 minutes ago. They, believe it or not, can make other moves.
I was looking up MLB.com. They had the best late bloomers of all time.
Oh, let me hear it. Let me hear her name.
Of all time?
All-time late bloomers?
So they put Edwin Encarnacion.
How? He was 22.
Because he was 28 when he actually got good.
Oh, they just mean like when he got good, not when he was called up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they figured it out finally when they were 28, 29, 30.
Those are dramatically different things. Josh Donaldson is an actual answer. We hate him here. But he was 27 when he got to the big leagues. Bunch of dudes I've never heard of. David Ortiz, who started getting good at 27, but again, got to the big leagues multiple years before that. Like most of the guys who they call late bloomers in this article are guys who got to the big leagues in plenty of time and then became good baseball players late. Like by that argument, you could call Cal Raleigh maybe a late bloomer, Gold, right? Cal Raleigh has been in the big leagues for a number of years, but like listing Nelson Cruz, who got to the big leagues and played in the big leagues for 5 full years before he was the age of 28.
Ryan O'Hearn, maybe?
It is tough to call him a late bloomer.
Yeah, but Cam Devaney also 15th round pick, Brent Rooker like a first round pick. So for those using that example, it's just a whole different thing. Whatever.
We got to let it go, I guess. I do not need the Royals to trade John Rave for
Garrett Hampson.
Garrett Hampson. That's worse than Adam Frasier. That's definitely worse than Adam Frasier. Don't make me parse those two out.
Where's Garrett Hampson at now? Is he in
I have no
in Colorado?
I don't know.
Maybe?
I don't know. Like I said, Robbie Grossman, Tommy Pham, Paul DeYoung.
I'm just laughing at the late
Garrett
bloomer.
Hampson is on the Cardinals.
Oh.
I'm laughing at the late bloomer thing because by that standard, the guy they had mentioned, Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion, at the age in which they got to the bigs and how long it took them to be good. Cal Raleigh is actually a perfect example of exactly the guys I just listed. Cal Raleigh was a below-average baseball player, a catcher the entire time he's been in the big leagues. He's been in the big leagues for 4 years before this season. In his 5th year, he now leads the league in homers, leads the league in RBI, getting on base a ton. He's having like an incredible year. He's a late bloomer if he continues to hit this way at 28. By that same argument, if it took Cam Devaney 5 years to be a late bloomer in the big leagues, he'd be 33 by the time he got good at baseball. So, like, I don't know.
Someone said they have time to trade Frasier back for Cam.
Now, the funny scenario is after all this, in 2 weeks, Adam Frasier is involved in another trade as a throw-in piece for another move that they make.
No.
It won't happen. That would be hilarious considering the freak out. But yeah.
Is Cam Devaney, have we confirmed it in any way if he's going to, I guess it's off time, so nobody's going to say it. I was like, is he going to start in the Major League roster or is he going to report to AAA?
I have no idea.
Because I am kind of curious if they don't even, I mean, it seems like they'd have an opening at second base, seeing how they just traded him, but I just didn't know.
Oh, there I have your answer.
Okay.
Option to AAA. So the player that could be, the Royals are just so stupid for trading away is so good that in the Pirates organization as well, he also is starting in AAA. Anyway.
And they're not even good. Pirates are terrible. Terrible. All right. That's it. That's it for me. I'm done with Adam Frasier news other than putting in what's trending at 1:30. That's it. I'm done with it. Let's talk Chiefs. Let's talk Chiefs and accountability, because you and I talk a lot about the offense, and you would ask me a very simple question. If the offense is bad again this year, where will the blame be placed? And more importantly, will they do anything about that blame? In the entire Andy Reid era, he has not fired an offensive coordinator. Technically, although I could make an argument for Eric Bieniemy, they technically sought
mutually
other
part.
opportunities.
Mutually part.
And I actually think that there is some mutual part of that, because I think Eric Bieniemy was trying to make his stamp somewhere else in an attempt to get a head coaching job. But Nagy took a head coaching job. Peterson took a head coaching job. Those guys have gone their own way. If things go south, Andy's not on the hot seat. Mahomes isn't on the hot seat. Veach isn't on the hot seat. Or Andy Heck or Matt Nagy, is somebody on the hot seat in the offense if things go poorly again? If the offensive line can't block, if the offense can't score?
I think there's only 2 or 3 names that would actually, you're talking about like job security wise, because Andy Reid, Brett Veach, Patrick Mahomes not going anywhere. So really you're asking at that point, with the bar being as high as it should be, and it is in Kansas City, if the offense was average again and it prevented them from getting to an AFC title game again, then yeah, you're looking at Matt Nagy, Andy Heck, Connor Embry. I mean, we're talking about positional coaches at that point, though. Your offensive line positional coach, Andy Heck, your wide receiver coach, Connor Embry. It'd be names like that. I don't like Andy Reid, Veach, Mahomes, not going anywhere. And even at that point in time, it's one of those, like, Andy's earned the right at this point, I'm sure, from ownership as well. Like, it'll be his call. You know what I mean? It'll be his call if that's the case too. And
they
are you going to convince
him and be like, "Hey, are you sure this is working?"
Right.
No, they'd be his call. And don't you think it'd just be someone internal? I don't want to look through the entire offensive coaching staff, but don't you just think it'd be someone internal? He's not going to bring in Sean McVay's wide receivers coach, right? To come be the new hot offensive coordinator name. He's not doing that, right? To this point, and I have to look at Andy Reid's history as offensive coordinators in Philly, but that's how he's done it here. Like at any point, they've done it like this way. I do think that somebody should be on the hot seat for the offensive woes. I don't think you can go reasonably 3 straight years of mediocre offense, put the amount of resources you put into the offensive line, and with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and be like, let's just mix something up. And it could be put that way if that would make them feel better. We're just mixing it up. We're changing some of the feel around it. We're changing some of the energy towards it, and we want to see maybe this works a different way. And we're going to let David Girardi, who is the quarterback's coach, and we're gonna go that direction instead, and just kind of see what happens. But my guess is that it would be the same thing. We all know that in the end, and this isn't saying like Nagy doesn't contribute at all. I'm not like team Nagy has no bearing on bad or good part of the offense. But it is still like under Andy Reid. He is the ultimate person responsible for whether it's good or bad.
Right, but it would have to be a season that turned out to
bulletproof. It should be.
I think it would have to be a season that was like almost quote unquote disastrous by their standard, as in a wild card or divisional round exit. If they go back to the Super Bowl, let's say they go to
even a bad offense.
Let's say they go to the Super Bowl again this year, and the offense is frustrating all year, but they're in the Super Bowl, and even if they lose it again, like what? I mean, at that point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that point there'd be a change. It would take them, missing the playoffs, losing wild card weekend, losing divisional round weekend, and it's because of the offense all year stinking. It would have to be something like that for there to be a true coaching staff change, in my opinion.
Do you know?
Because personnel-wise, player-wise, your left tackle is either Moore or Simmons for the next 2 years. That's just the reality. Yeah. Your right tackle is probably going to be whoever doesn't win the left tackle job this year. In 2026. Your center is your center. Your right guard is definitely your right guard now. Your number one wide receiver will be your number one wide receiver in 2027, Rashee Rice. You go through offensively. The personnel is kind of the personnel, so there's no adjustment really to be made there.
I got to say, I think people are probably also underappreciating how hard it is for Andy to let go of a coach. I was actively covering the team every year in the Bob Sutton era. And Bob Sutton had some bad. He had some good defenses. I actually think, to Bob Sutton's credit, they had 3 top 5 defenses when Bob Sutton was the coordinator.
Turnovers force was his big thing.
Yeah. So there were some good years under Bob Sutton, and I don't want to make it seem like there weren't. But, I mean, it took the 2018 defense to get him canned. And the 2018 defense is one of the worst defenses in Kansas City Chiefs history. It was abysmal. And it still took that playoff loss where Justin Houston is guarding Antonio Brown 80 yards down the field for no reason for Bob Sutton to eventually get the kick. So, like, I don't even know if finishing 11th and losing the AFC title game would put any of those guys at risk. I think it'd have to be more disastrous than that. I think it would have to be going
or something, divisional round.
An early playoff exit, maybe divisional, but like an early playoff exit to go with an entire season's worth of struggling offense and offensive line play for there to be anything like that. I still can't. Was that last year or the year before? Whenever we made a big deal about Connor Embry, kind of stumbling through.
Not last year, the year before. Not
all
last
the
year,
drop
the year
passes
before.
and Kadarius Toney
well,
and all
like,
that other
in
stuff.
retrospect, it was like they were getting a hard time because he kind of like fumbled through a press conference.
Well, he didn't have a great press conference, and people made it seem like that was like proof that he couldn't coach, which was crazy.
And
but
meanwhile, his number 1 and number 2 wide receivers were Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. So maybe he was coaching.
I would say so. I would say so. But it'll be something to watch in general as the season goes on. And the bar should be extremely high for this organization. They've done it to themselves, right? It's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing because of the success that they've had. Up next, we will get to what's trending. We will not talk about spoons on the other side. I
want to talk
promise.
about George Karlaftis?
Well, let's talk a little bit about Karlaftis coming up next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The summer selection is on at Reiselman Nissan, and 0% financing is back. Get 0% APR for 5 full years on new Rogues, Muranos, and Pathfinders. Or go long with 1.9% for 72 months, or 84 months at just 3.49% APR. Get up to $6,000 in total rebates on the rugged Frontier. And if you're leasing, you'll pay 0 sales tax. That's real savings. Nobody in Kansas City beats our deals or our selections. Visit Reiselman.com for details. Reiselman Nissan, every customer, every time.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Kansas City. And our more than 30 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000, or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com, and I look forward to working with you.
Hi, I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Be a part of history by attending Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri this summer. See the Chiefs and make a St. Joe memory, whether it's touring one of the many museums, staying in a historic home turned bed and breakfast, experiencing quality dining and brewery options, hitting the River Bluff bike trails, or supporting a vibrant art scene. St. Joseph has something for everyone. Go to stjomo.com to view or download a free visitor guide and plan your trip. Produced in cooperation with Visit Missouri.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. and schedule your AC system tune-up for just $59. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6812. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6812. That's 800-575-6812. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips, so we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Only $39 for an AC tune-up. Book now at themvpkc.com. MVP Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric is your home's MVP this summer. Get a summer AC tune-up for just $39 and avoid costly repairs. Call today, 913-214-1212. Or visit themvpkc.com. MVP. One call does it all.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. What's trending?
Number one on what's trending, the Royals did make a trade today. I don't know if you guys saw. Adam Frasier traded back to the Royals. Cam Devaney traded to the Pirates. He is now reporting to their AAA squad. I'll just leave it at that. We've talked about it plenty today.
Next up on what's trending, the National League wins the MLB All-Star Game last night. They do it in, 5-4 home run total. Pete Alonso didn't even have to swing the bat.
True.
After Kyle Schwarber, who eventually won the All-Star Game MVP, hit 3 in the swing-off. We talked about it earlier in the show. If you missed it, catch it at 965thefan.com. But yeah, really good All-Star Game overall. Successful for Major League Baseball. National League comes out on top.
Loved it last night, man. That was a ton of fun. Swing off was a great thing. ABS, the automated ball strike challenge system thing, worked out great. Love it. Next up on What's Trending, the KC Current won the Teal Cup last night at CPKC Stadium over the Corinthians FC. Congrats to them on that. They're on a little bit of a break still before NWSL play picks back up.
When's their next match of any kind at CPKC? Is it back in October or August, or do they have another thing in between?
Based, at least that's part of the season ticket package, is like August 15th or 16th, I think I was looking the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know
was
if that's
that
like
part of the season ticket package last night?
Last night was. Saturday I was there, was not. Last night was part of
KC
that.
Current matches. Are these just... I show some on their schedule.
Next one, Saturday,
1st,
August 16th is the next home game.
Got it. They do have 2 road games before that against, so they get back in action here soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is kind of weird, like
It's the international schedule,
and the whole thing. Yeah, you just got to work around it. If you're a fan of international soccer or soccer in general, it's pretty common. Next up on What's Trending, Wyndham Clark has officially been banned from the Oakmont Country Club following his destruction of property at the U.S. Open just a few months ago. They have said he could possibly be reinstated if he pays to fix the damages, also donates a certain amount of money to a charity of their choosing, and seeks mental health services. Wyndham Clark has apologized since the event and said he lost his cool. Also says he'd like to move on from it. So we'll see if that includes doing all the thing Oakmont would like him to do it. He's 31 years old, but because he's won a major, you'd think he'd be in the U.S. Open field in 2033 still, even though because golfers still play well into their 40s. That's when Oakmont is scheduled to be a U.S. Open tournament again.
The Open does begin tomorrow, overnight hours. Tomorrow, Drew will have a Open Championship leaderboard updates for us in a Irish accent, we think. Maybe.
Let's hear it. Do you want a little...
Attempted...
Give us a test run. Give it like a group that's going to tee off at 2 a.m.
Well, I'm looking it up right now. Hang on.
All right.
Actually, is this the last
That's
thing
what's trending. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I mean, I was going to mention that former Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel says that he hated living in Cleveland. Man, I hated Cleveland. That place definitely aided to my depression for sure.
Damn, Cleveland.
Yeah.
Just trying to live their life today. And
Cleveland, Ohio.
Immediately getting killed.
All right, chaps, at 4:09 a.m. 4:09 a.m. here. That's more Australian.
Foster's for beer. I thought you were about to do a commercial for beer. What?
Hi, I'm Drew Nixon. I'm going to here talk about the Open in Northern Ireland.
That's
what I feel like you should do.
At 3:09 a.m. here in Kansas City, it's going to be Shane Lowry, Colin Morikawa, and Scotty Scheffler teeing off in Northern Ireland for the Open Championship.
Look forward to those scoreboard updates tomorrow.
Drew likes to say Shane Lowry because he knows he can roll the R.
Shane Lowry.
So tomorrow we'll find out.
Let us Open Championship.
I'm not going to get up early to watch it. I'll be waiting for you to give me my Open update tomorrow.
At the Royal Portrush.
There you go. Also, we don't do a ton of shout-outs on the show, but this is pretty cool for the 913. Listening to Cody and Gold in celebration of passing my med school boards. Best show in KC. Well, one, I appreciate that
congratulations.
too. Congratulations to you on that. That's obviously an unbelievable amount of work and effort that has to go into something like that. So congratulations to you passing the med school board.
Yeah, congrats.
You want to be the official doctor of Cody and Gold? We can just call you up anytime Cody talks about the Super Bowl, anything. You know, it can
we
just
don't even
be
know
you.
what their field of medicine is.
Well, it works for us. It's better than what we got, Cody. It's better than we have nothing right now.
Man, now this person's got to figure out where they're landing in residency. That's that's the big next thing, you know.
For their sake, hopefully it's in the area. I don't know if they're trying to go somewhere else or not, or what their list is, their request, if you will, or whatever they call it. But yeah, congratulations.
It's pretty sweet.
Official show doctor.
We got doctors that listen to this show, listen to us talk about spoons and ice cream. You know, everybody does it a little bit different.
I'm not gonna lie, worst celebration ever. Damn. He did respond, or he or she. It could be she, I guess. Said, "Yes, I'm down at your service."
There you go. Ready to be the Cody and Gold doctor. Let's talk a little bit about anonymous Twitter accounts that people signed before. So
we get
I've
these
been
sent
added
to us all
multiple
the time.
times. Mm-hmm. Slicky Ricks, is that what this one's called? Slicky Ricky?
Ricky Scoops.
Ricky Scoops.
Scoops.
He's on social media. He, a couple of weeks ago, said the Chiefs were going to get a deal done with Trey Smith. He has said other trades in which he believes will take place.
It's a dog.
Yeah. Yeah. He, the Twitter account, and now is saying George Karlaftis will get a deal done in training camp. What do you think?
Well,
have we been talking
reaction,
about the wrong players? George Karlaftis, the more likely player to get it.
So look, I'm taking it with a grain of salt still, but understand that obviously there is some track record of being correct. Now, I would also say this Twitter account, some of the predictions are, I would argue, obvious. Like, there's some deals that we all know we're going to get done. And so, like, if you tweet out a month in advance that Patrick Mahomes is going to get an extension next year, like, we all know he's probably getting an extension next year. So sometimes they're very obvious scoops. But anyway, we'll play along for a little bit. Yeah, I thought it was interesting because we have talked a ton about getting McDuffie's deal done before the start of the season. Nate Taylor's talked about that as well. If it's true that there may be closer on a deal with Karlaftis before the season, my first reaction to that is they feel like he is more willing to get the deal done now, and McDuffie is willing or wants to wait.
Yeah. I guess the question is, do I give him credit for Ricky Scoops this is? Do I give him credit for getting parts of
This
things?
is spoon adjacent.
Yeah. Do I give him credit for getting parts of things correct if he's technically incorrect in others? So like 5 days ago, he said, busy day at Ricky Incorporated. Sauce Gardner is expected to become the highest paid cornerback as the Jets are pushing to get an extension done during training camp. So like,
No, that's my only point. I think sometimes it's like most people could have predicted Sauce Gardner was getting a deal before the season starts.
So you're saying, and most people would have predicted that Trey Smith was getting
That's
a deal
all I'm
before
saying.
them.
But
You're saying he's choosing low hanging.
now this one is less obvious though because most
TJ
people
Watt one from 7-1. He hasn't got a deal yet.
right. Yes.
What's the less obvious one?
Would be this Karlaftis one because most people think, in general, most people would guess that McDuffie would be before Karlaftis.
agreed.
So this would be a scoop.
I would have to pay more attention.
Ricky Scoops.
I'd have to pay more attention if he got Karlaftis ahead of Trent McDuffie.
He's barking a little bit on this one, maybe.
I will say that one, you're going to lean into the rest of the bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I asked earlier because I feel like the text line still doesn't want to pay $30 million a year to Trent McDuffie, which I think would be a mistake if you were the general manager of the team and chose not to do that. I still think there's more people who would prefer to sign George Karlaftis and Trent McDuffie in the fan base. I feel like it's more split than I feel like it should be. I think it's more 50-50 if I took a poll of every single Chiefs season ticket holder. Which of these two guys can you sign to an extension? And here's the numbers in which they'll sign for. I think more people would, or
Karlaftis is going to be cheap. I mean,
between the two.
Karlaftis' deal, while it'll be massive, will be cheaper than Trent McDuffie's deal. Yeah, I think so. I know Rousseau got 4 for $80 or whatever. We're talking about McDuffie getting $115, $120 million. I think you
That's
could
what we're talking about for
I think
Trent McDuffie.
No,
for 120?
no, that's what.
I thought you were talking about Karlaftis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe I said it backwards.
No, it's okay.
I said Trent McDuffie's going to get 115 or 120. Yeah. I think Karlaftis will be cheaper. It'll be a big deal. It will not be a $120 million deal.
What do you think it'll be? 100?
Yeah, in that range, 95, 105.
I mean, it's definitely more than Rousseau. He's a better player than Rousseau.
Agreed. Yeah.
Who got 4 years and $80 million. I'm looking at the over. Let's see. To get to $100 million, you need over $25 million a year. Currently, the players who make that are TJ Watt, Brian Burns, Josh Hines,
and TJ Watt wants a new deal.
Nick Bosa, Max Crosby, Daniil Hunter, and Myles Garrett. Honestly, it's got to kind of be more.
The tag is higher for a defensive end. Maybe there's I really
because
think
people making less just haven't had deals or got deals recently. They're named Rashawn Gary or Andrew Van Ginkel, which I think that Karlaftis should be expecting money around there.
I just wonder if McDuffie. This is complete speculation here. Okay, I don't want to make it seem like he's against this, but I'm speculating that perhaps if this is true, it would mean that McDuffie maybe not as willing to get a deal done before the start of the season, and Karlaftis is. That's just reading between the tea leaves a little bit, but we'll see. It would be interesting if it happened during camp. I think one of these deals does get done while we're in St. Joe or right before the season. I would not have guessed. I would not have guessed that Karlaftis would be before McDuffie, and so I still won't guess that, but it's definitely something to watch. I'm not so sure about the timeline on that. Someone says they're an anesthesiologist and they listen to Cody and Gold.
Are they a different doctor or is this the same person?
Different one.
The one.
A lot of doctors listen to this show.
Nobody's sleeping on this show.
The person who just passed their medical boards, I think they said they're looking into GI or ortho.
I need an orthopedist.
There you go, Cody. There you go.
This is my guy. GI or ortho.
Someone also suggested that by listening to the show today, they would think that you are a gynecologist, Cody.
Oh, gosh.
That was just one comment.
Oh, my goodness.
Go back to 11:30. It's the same vagina. Do you think that drop will get played more on this show, or do you think or the wife one?
I will not be playing it.
It will not get played very often. Today might be the last day.
Just that's it?
Yeah.
I don't want to
because
use
it. Probably should be.
Yeah, probably.
Drew.
Although again, a medical term, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not like, that's just the name.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can say that. It's nicknames where you run into problems. And his wife.
No, we were very.
That sounds so bad out of context.
It's the it's the deep breath, the sigh afterwards. That was
it's just like saying,
dazzled.
I was trying to think of the word I was going to say.
I lost for words.
And then Alex started talking, so I was just like, I couldn't think of the word I was going to say, so I'll just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to,
Tonight, ESPYs Shane Gillis monologue. Send me the link to the monologue afterwards. That's
Shane
all I
Gillis
need.
getting ready to come to town, right?
Yeah, Saturday. He'll be at T-Mobile.
Oh, Saturday. Right, okay.
ESPY's tonight. Truly, let me know what the monologue is. I'll watch it. I'm sure he'll be hilarious. That's all I need. But there's no local team, as far as we know, nominated for anything anyway. So just give me the highlights. Just give me the highlights. That's all I need. There's nothing else going on this evening anyway.
Watch the ESPYs?
Clearly, some people do.
I used to. I haven't watched it in.
You used to watch them?
I haven't watched it in a long time.
I look for the monologue clip on social, and that's it.
It always gets posted. Yes.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Like, I know it's a dead time in sports, so I'm not trying to claim that there aren't people who watch it. I've never, other than I guess Drew now, I don't know anybody who watches that program.
Well,
like, is there any chance, like, if you're just scrolling
it.
through, wouldn't you choose like 15 or 20 other things before you got to that show?
Yes.
Yeah, I will not be watching. I want to see the monologue. That's it.
Sure.
I'm watching Summer League later today. I don't care about the ESPYs.
I mean, you'll watch Summer League.
We're grinding.
I will say, Drew,
Summer League.
You will.
Your boy Johnny Furphy had maybe the poster of
but I saw the highlight.
year. Correct. Yeah, you did.
Who's playing tonight?
Well, essentially everybody.
I'm going to declare Drew.
It's the
Someone
final,
saying
it's
hating
the
on the
final.
WNBA. You're not watching. I watched the Fever were on last night as well. That's all I need. Caitlin Clark is all I need to watch. But
We got to give him
and she's hurt
the
now.
card on Friday.
And she's unfortunately hurt.
Yeah, we do have to get a card update on Friday.
We will. Also, I think we're about
that
to.
will not be in the Irish accent.
Yeah, in a week or so, I think we might have Kim Golden from the Netflix show and from Golden Auction coming on the show to talk about
Is
Caitlin
the show
Clark,
good?
Mahomes, and actually, I think it's entertaining. Yeah, I enjoy it.
You think I'd like it?
It's built around the same concept of like a Pawn Stars or Storage Wars. Like it's kind of that angle.
People bring stuff in and then you
People aren't
negotiate the
bringing-
price?
but
or what?
they usually go out to try to consign it. So like they try to convince Barry Bonds to consign his collection with them. That
Gotcha.
kind of stuff.
They're going out there and they're like, we'll give you
High end stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
There-
Would they
there's-
go to actual Barry Bonds in this?
I'm serious. That was one of them. One of the episodes. There's like 2 seasons of it.
When you guys get home, you can watch Summer League. It's on 2:30.
I don't want to watch Summer League.
Okay.
I'll say,
Is Cooper Flag playing today?
Cooper Flag's been shut down for the rest of Summer League, which makes sense. I'm surprised. I'm dead
But I don't
serious.
need-
I'm
but I don't
surprised
need
he
to
even
play- I
played
don't
the
need to
game.
watch.
If they did like a ranking, like Speck was in charge of it, and he did a ranking of biggest sports fan to least big sports fan of all the main people between the 3 shows. So the 3 in the morning, the 3 of us, and the 2 in the afternoon. For sure on this show, I think you're number 1. You watch Summer League, you watch NASCAR, you watch the NFL. You referenced some wrestler who's up for an ESPY tonight. I'd never
Oklahoma State or
heard
something.
of, and
I
then
don't
talked
watch
about him as it
wrestling, but
related to the USC. You are in deep. I'm not sure you watch programming outside of sports, and Scooby-Doo are the only 2 things I've heard for
That's it
sure
for
that
him.
you watch.
I
That's it.
used to be, thankfully,
You're deep.
I used to be a lot worse. Where Spec even, and to people like the Colonel a little bit, Spec in times that we've met has been like, you need to consume something other than sports. Like it would benefit you in a good way. Which thankfully to my wife, she has helped me branch out very much so into things other than sports, which has helped me become, I think, a better versed individual. You would have to spread it out.
Just go catch the new Superman movie or something.
I need to
tonight.
spread
Skip
it out a
Summer
little bit.
League and
I've
go.
heard bad reviews about the Superman movie.
Really?
The movie looks fine. The thing that I get tired of with movies, by the way, I've been seeing
Just
the same
movies in general? All movies?
Well, I think it's maybe just with the previews in terms of how they've been promoted. I think it's a promotion. I've seen the same Fantastic Four ad for the last 8 months. If that movie is not decent, then I'm sorry. I'd last maybe 5 minutes.
I gotta say, man, Rotten Tomatoes has a 93% approval rating over there. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure this is getting bad reviews? I feel like I've only seen good ones. Have you seen anything one way or the other, Gold?
I haven't seen the movie. I need to get caught up on it. I'm behind right now.
looks like
I
it
need
would
to
be
watch
good,
that. I need to
but-
see Mission Impossible, the new one still. I still need to see the F1 movie. I'm behind.
Why don't you go do a movie marathon tonight? Screw the ESPYs. Get in there and go catch a couple.
When's the last time you had a movie? When's the last time you had a movie
never,
marathon?
I don't know. Never again.
That's a fair point.
Till they're 18 and 20 or
When's the last time that you just
marathon? It's been a
binged like
bit,
3
man.
movies in a row?
Years.
We were kids.
honestly,
We used to call it
years.
movie heists, and we go see 3 or 4 in a day.
So I don't go to. I haven't been at the movie theater in a long time, but the last time I binged movies was probably last year. I watched the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline in order.
Oh wow.
Which was a lot of fun.
That's intense. I know I can't catch all these movies in theater, so somebody tell me the ones I have to see in theater. F1, Superman, the
I've
new
heard good
Mission
things about F1
Impossible.
too.
let's say I could only see one of those three. I need the text line help me on 913-586-7965. If I could only see one of those three in the theater, what is the? They're all action movies. That's tough.
Someone said they were disappointed in the Mission Impossible movie. I have to see that because it's like the final one, right? But I've got to see that.
It's starting to come across as like Fast and Furious movies. You're like, there's another one. Like I thought this last one was
Jurassic
the big
World. I'm out on that. I'm good. I don't need to see that.
That's an at-home movie watch.
Yeah.
Like we actually can go and experience the real thing. You know, like I'd rather go and experience the real thing, like we talked about, than go to the movie.
There's no real Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Spoiler, Drew.
Well, I was going back to the random question that we had a couple.
People are saying it's a good movie, Drew. Lots of action.
Well, great. Hey, I'm always down for a superhero movie.
I'm just trying to figure out which one. If I could only see one of them, which of the three?
Can I see this new Superman movie without, like, did I miss?
It's a standalone Superman.
Okay, so we're good. I love when that happens. Okay.
You didn't miss any portion of, like, lore that leads up to the other thing. You can just, to my understanding.
That's good.
Just, because that is tough with the Marvel ones. Like, I'm not going to go see any of the Marvel ones in theater. I don't know which things I need to know about that lead to the other thing.
Plus, Marvel's really dropped the ball here. I think my wife can't stand Marvel anymore because them with Endgame, Tony Stark not being in, like, you don't have Downey Jr. in it. Chris Evans is no longer Captain America.
Endgame was so good, though.
I think like a lot of the main people are not involved anymore with the
they're
pictures.
Down to B tier.
It's starting to fall off a little bit.
I don't need 18 features of Hawkeye.
Anthony Mackie is great. I love Anthony Mackie.
I want the big names.
Not
right?
the quote unquote same.
Yeah. Someone says Superman was good. If you obsessed over Superman your entire life, you may not like it. It's a reboot. So like if you're a diehard Superman, you may think there's things that otherwise.
Which is weird because our former coworker Ryan Witkowski, whose son is named Kal-El, Superman's name on Krypton.
Hey.
So I would say he's a bit of a Superman fan. He said he loved it.
Yeah, I can't wait to. That's on the list. This week, I'll see one of them. Again, Mission Impossible. Right now, in my order of like what I feel like I want to go see first is Mission Impossible, then Superman, and then F1 for me is probably a wait till I can watch it at home.
That movie's got really good reviews.
I've heard it's very good, but I feel like I can watch that one
Days
at home.
of Thunder for F1.
Superman and Mission Impossible, I feel like I need to watch in theaters.
Yeah. I feel like superhero movies are tough. They
Maybe
feel
I'll
like
go. Maybe I'll go
movies.
see Mission Impossible tonight.
Why don't you go see a movie tonight?
Maybe I'll do that
You're not
tonight.
going to watch the ESPYs?
Yeah.
You got your WNBA fix last night. There's no baseball till Friday.
Yeah, maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll go to that time. We'll see.
You're talking yourself into it.
Yeah, if I go tonight, it'll be Mission Impossible. I can tell you though for sure.
Mission Impossible.
If it's is that still in theatoers? Like, can I still go see that, or
Dude,
they
they're not
already
taking Mission Impossible
they kicked that thing out? I don't know. Is Tom Cruise they kicked him out? Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. No, that also somebody
Let me
mentioned.
check. Hold on. I've got the app because the tickets.
Somebody
Look up. Give me in the area.
You have to. Let's see.
Like times you're saying?
No, he knows. Like out south.
Mission Impossible. Ooh, it depends on the theater.
Oh boy.
You Town Center's not the closest.
That's close enough.
Close enough. Hey, they got a 6 and a 940.
Perfect.
There you go.
Okay.
Somebody on the text line also mentions the reason why I don't like what Marvel's doing. Robert Downey Jr. goes from being Iron Man to now Doctor Doom. What the hell are we doing?
Like 10 years later.
I don't like it. I know.
I mean, but that's just like saying like,
I know it's a
they
different
can't
universe.
be more than one Marvel movie. Like that's like saying
no.
Tom Hanks can't both be in Castaway and Forrest Gump. He's an actor. He can be in different jobs.
No. That's not a fair comp.
What's the difference?
That's not a fair
He's an actor. He can play more than one character.
That's not a fair comp. It's in the same superhero world, kind of though. Like,
I know they could bend it and say this is a different universe. Like this is a different universe. You know,
Pretend.
I understand that they could have flipped it that way, but
yeah, someone said
I don't know.
Someone said the fever for WNBA play again tonight. Yeah, but Caitlin Clark's clearly not playing. Unfortunately, she's clearly not playing with
shout out to
the groin injury.
Aaliyah Boston and
Kelsey
Kelsey Mitchell.
I know.
And
my interest
Dusty's
is
favorite,
watching
Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah, no, I understand. If Caitlin Clark's playing, there's a good chance I'll watch. Otherwise, not really watching.
What was the drop? 50? No, it wasn't 50%, was it? In terms of viewership when Caitlin Clark was out?
Mm-hmm. It's going to happen again.
Something
I
along
have
those
a feeling.
lines, yeah.
I have a feeling she's going to miss a month at least. Oof. I think because they brought her back and now she's sort of. I wonder if it's a month. I hope not, but I could see him resting her for a month.
Yeah, to their point. Someone says from the 816. So Chris Evans couldn't play Captain America because he was Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four?
Hang on a second. Fantastic Four.
Ryan Reynolds can't be Deadpool?
Hang on a second. Fantastic Four was not a part of Marvel when the movie was made.
Is it a part of Marvel?
So now, in all honesty, why not bring Chris Evans back because he's now gone? He's not Captain America anymore. Fine.
Interesting.
I also think the whole Jonathan Majors thing as well, like because they had the Kang. He was outstanding in the Loki series. That might be the best series that I ever watched in television. Dead serious. I loved the Loki series. I think it was amazing.
I never saw it.
And now Loki's not a part of Marvel anymore. He's done. It seems like his relevance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is gone. I love Marvel movies. I fell in love with those over the last couple years. Shout out to my wife for that. One of the things outside of sports that we can bond with, which is great for me.
Yeah, there you go. Works out.
Some interesting industry news we can maybe talk about tomorrow on the show. Just coming across in the last few minutes. Fox Sports nearing an expansive deal with Barstool Sports that would include Portnoy on Big Noon kickoff. The deal would also involve